So I need to make my little background thing and share my screen and etc. A lot going on, really. I'm excited to be here. This was harder than I expected it to be because they're all so much worse than I've realized. Like, they're not, but when I put it all together, it was really like, ugh! And I just know far too much, so it's hard to be brief. Let me correct my background. What's next week? Man, no one's here yet. Oh, there you are. Hello. Welcome. Class is in session. Let me attach my little screen. There we go. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you're making chicken tenders? That sounds really good. I got a donut and then I forgot to eat it and now I still have it and I'm going to eat it after this and I'm pretty excited about it. Okay. What's next week? July 28th? Why can't I do math right now? Well, I know why. Because you can never really do math very good. But I can do it. I'm just really slow. I'm trying to do this on my little screen. I need a new glasses prescription. It's a lot going on, you guys. Okay. I forgot to do this before. Like, my little background, you see, it's from like 2 weeks ago. Isn't that so embarrassing? It's so embarrassing. It's downloading now. Thank God. I already know the comment section is going to be funny as fuck today. No, it really is. And I need to lock the fuck in. I'm really tired, but I just drank a Dunkin' refresher, so I'm locking in. Like, I'm waiting for it to like course through my veins right now. Boom. Ha ha ha. Okay. What's Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Oh my God, buckle in. It is a reality show that is insane about young Mormon women living in Utah, mainly like Salt Lake City, Provo area. So my man will be sitting in with me because he also hates these. Oh, my water tastes kind of gross. That was not very fresh. Eat the donut to wake up more. I don't like eating on camera, and more importantly, I want to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, I bought it as a reward, and I want to use it as a reward. Oh, I just didn't understand the abbreviation. Oh, okay. It's my first time chatting and to stream live. Oh my God, welcome. Let me go live on my phone, too, and really be, like, an influencer. Was my, like, title on this correct? It said the right thing, right? Like, when you opened it, it said, like, liars, clout chasers, and gold diggers. That's what it said, right? Right, you guys, right? Be welcoming to the new people. Thank you. I like when you guys do that. Makes me very happy. First time on Twitch. Couldn't wait for the YouTube release. I hate these men too much. Oh, I'm glad you're here. I hope that we can get you to stick around. If not, it's okay though. Okay, so let me go live on my phone. Let's get started. I just put my eyelashes on so they're like sticking to each other. We're good, we're good, we're good. We have quite literally so much to talk about. I could not bear the thought of doing like a deep dive on any of them. I was like, I don't want to, oh wait, I have to fucking redo the TikTok one because I forgot to make it for adults only. No, why isn't that the default when I select it every time? I just couldn't bear the thought of talking about them for that long because I quite literally just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Okay, 18 and over. Here we go. But they have committed so many literal crimes. We are going to talk about more than one crime today that I needed to talk about it. So I said, you know what? Let's just go in and let's talk about all of them. Let's talk about it all. Let's talk about it all. So you already know, if you're here very frequently, Mormon disclaimer. So Mormonism, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, promotes a strict traditional gender role culture. Critics and members point to several reasons why this is harmful to women. Mention it all. Men hold all priesthood authority, meaning only men can lead in the church, make rules, govern congregations. Women can lead women's and children's groups, but they are always supervised and guided by men. Man, there's so many first-time people here tonight. So young women face heavy pressure to get married young, leave careers, or more often never have careers, and have very large families. This can stop women from getting an education or building independent identities, and a woman's religious duty often requires her to sacrifice her personal goals to serve her husband and children. Many former members say that this focus leaves women feeling burned out, anxious, and lacking personal control, and the church teaches that the husband is the spiritual leader and head of the home, and critics say this causes unequal relationships where women feel forced to obey their husbands. So that is the context in which we live. That is the context in which everything is happening on this show. So who are these men? They are dad talk. They are dad talk. They are a group of men who are married to, estranged from, dating, whatever, the men of the secret lives of Mormon wives. And yes, very often Utah Mormons make their wives be in MLMs. And then it's like, you're supposed to retire your husband to like, so he doesn't have to work. Like, Mormon men in the last 20 years have really flipped the script on income. Or maybe we're just seeing it for the first time and it's always been this way. Probably that one, actually. So I'm gonna freak the fuck out if they start dancing. Worse. It's about to be worse. And I want to tell you, we have so many clips tonight. It's going to be rough. We're going to get through it together, but it's rough. Like, some of the things that these men have been stupid enough to do and do on camera, rough. So, dad talk, I just couldn't title this dad talk. Like, I refuse to give search engine optimization to them. Like, the more people talk about dad talk, the more money it's possible for them to do it. So I'm actually never going to say that word again. Like, we're banned from saying that. Like, that is a slur. Like, you can't say it around here. They were deep in Mary Kay and Tupperware parties back in the day. Definitely not new. God damn it. My fiance forgot it was Tuesday, aka class night. Should I divorce? Your call, not mine. So these are the men from the show who created their own influencer group to capitalize off of their wives' fame. It often features lighthearted gender role reversals, choreographed dancing, and playful competitions against mom talk. There they are. There they are. And the thing is, Jordan watch copyright claim for using that. I just know one of them's going to find this. They simply are online too much. One of them will find it. I'm not saying send it to them. I'm just saying we all need to be prepared that could happen. For those of you on TikTok, you have to come to Twitch to see all the clips and stuff because TikTok hates me, and every time I show something, they think I'm suing someone. So here is the dads. I don't want to say the word. I like how I called it a slur and now I keep almost saying it, and it's not. It just should be. This is the most revolting thing I've ever seen. Like, I would never be able to look at one of them sexually again after this. Like, I told you, rough. Mind you, we're 8 minutes in. We're 8 minutes in. 8 minutes in and we're already here. 8 minutes in, mind you. We're probably going to be here for over 2 hours. 8 minutes in and we're already there. So they're awful. I hate them. And whenever I remember that they exist, I get upset. Because as if them doing that is not bad enough, they're literally just capitalizing off of their wives' fame, which I think is the lamest fucking thing you can do. Like, get a job. Get a real job. Like, why are you using your wife to make money? Get a job. Like, your whole thing is tradition. Your whole thing is traditional gender roles. Like, literally get a job. Like, why don't you have one? Why are you pretending to be a dog in the grass with other grown men? That somehow you doing that is still capitalizing off women. How did you manage to be so cringy in so many ways? Because if they were doing that and it had nothing to do with their wives, I would be like, this is stupid, but whatever, I guess. Like, I wouldn't care. But like, oh my God, I can't. And the thing is, Mormon men And men of this like alpha E mindset are always accusing women of being gold diggers. That's what the gag is. They're always like, oh, the women, they only care about money. They only care about blah. Literally horrible. I'm sorry. The whole trigger warning on the whole thing. And you can't say, a couple minutes ago, I said this was going to be rough. I said it was going to be rough. I'm sorry. Like, it is what it is. And I found a page. I wish we had more time because I could easily watch all of them. I think I put 1 or 2 in here. But in case you, like, this in a way, to me, is like a form of self-harm. When I watch their content, it, like, hurts. And I can't look away. It's like a car crash. So if you are like me, I found this account that does not have many followers, I need to follow it, that just posts things making fun of them and mostly posts their cameos. Because again, none of these idiots have a job. So they're like always doing cameo for work or whatever. Sorry, I wanted to move the AirPod for later. They're always doing cameo as a job. Somehow that's a job. Whatever, I guess. And these people find the best clips of it. So before we get into this, who are we going to talk about tonight? Who are we talking about tonight? We are talking about all of them. We're mentioning it all, and we're talking about all of them. We're talking about Connor, who's right there. I put their names on them. Like, I really put a lot of work into this. It took a very long time, thanks. Zach, Jordan, Dakota, Jace, Jacob, Chase, and Brett. I know that all of them, I know they don't look the same, but they kind of do. Literally, who is paying them for a cameo other than to make fun of them? Oh, nobody. It's all like a humiliation ritual, and I'm glad. Like, they should be having to get on their phone and humiliate themselves every single day. Also, a dive bar parking lot. Thank you for completing the pipeline. I'm glad you're here. If someone got me a cameo from one of those goofies, I know they would hate me. All the same person in different fonts. I don't support the presence of a Jace and a Chase. So it's a rough look. It is a rough look. Connor, hem your fucking pants. Don't piss me off. I didn't put them in a strict order, but it'll generally get worse as we move on. I put the worst. Okay, so I wanted to start soft and I wanted to end with someone bad, but someone we could like walk away from. You know what I mean? Because I'll just get it out of the way right now. I think Dakota is like a danger and needs to be watched, so I didn't want to end with him. So I started with who I feel is the least criminal among them, and then we just kind of progress from there, because I couldn't figure out who's the worst. So I just kind of put them, like, but then it was a tie. So you'll see. We're going to start with Connor. Connor belongs to Whitney Levitt. I felt like this was a crowd-pleasing place to start. A lot of people really like Connor right now. And for those of you that have watched my other Mormon Wives streams, you know a little bit about these people, but I am going to be introducing new information. And some of these people we haven't talked about. So it is going to be a mix. And Connor and Whitney have a special place in my heart. Someone said they feel like they're at a Super Bowl party. If people threw parties like this, I would go. You know, you guys should. That would actually make me so happy. Wait, if any of you want to make it like a reoccurring thing and you have people there, I'll like send you a present or something, because that would make me so happy. If you guys like had the girls over, or the gays, or whomsoever, and their husbands want to come, you know? So anyway, starting with Connor and Whitney, he has a job, starting off so strong with a job. And if you hadn't already put this together, this is not going to be as detailed or nuanced as my other streams are. We just kind of go through them all quick and dirty, and I just picked what I wanted to talk about. He works in sales and corporate roles in analytics, I believe, and he also is in a lot of Whitney's video. And one thing that is in their general storyline at the beginning is they are heavily impacted by Connor admitting to a pornography addiction. He was also on Tinder, so when we meet them, they're going through a lot of trust issues, and their relationship centers around rebuilding that trust and maintaining their family. They've been married for a while. They got married in 2016. If you watch the stream about Whitney, you have seen this picture. That's what I was saying. Some things, the pictures are relevant. Tinder, the streets are saying it's Grindr. I don't know. They got married very young, not as young as some other ones, but they were in their early 20s, and they did like a little temple wedding and then went to In-N-Out after. It was like very hometowny and very cute. They met through the Mormon church, basically. She met his parents while she was on a Mormon mission, and then eventually was introduced to him years later. Here are some throwback pics of them early in their relationship. Like I said, they've been married now for 10 years. Yes, they did do a little vow renewal recently, and her dress was sexy. It was very cute. They lived in Hawaii briefly because of the, him being on Tinder and being addicted to porn. I guess they don't have Tinder or porn in Hawaii, is what they're saying. That's what the streets are saying. I feel like every couple you've mentioned recently has been focused on rebuilding trust. How many times can you rebuild trust in a relationship? That's the question. So here is a video of them in Hawaii. They've done TikTok together long before the show. So he's been on TikTok longer than most of the others. They've always been dancing together. This is their house in Hawaii, I guess. Looks nice as fuck. I don't know how they have... I guess he has a really good job. That's probably how they have money. Everyone's #healing. Damn, what a reason to go to Hawaii. You know when your husband is on Tinder, so you get to move to Hawaii for a couple months? So, like I said, he had this issue in their marriage. I had a real problem, and it turned into something that really hurt my wife, and I'm so sorry. I'm working on myself. They lived in Hawaii for 2 months and then returned to Utah. What I will say is it does seem like he had a job this whole time. I'll give him that. Not good to cheat on your wife, but at least you're paying bills, I guess.
Hi, come on in.
Oh my gosh, you look so cute.
You look not.
Hello guys.
Okay, so what's going on?
Whitney, did you say you had something you want to talk about?
Yeah, there is.
And there's going to be a lot of this where we learn about these men through the lens of their wives. So exactly what the opposite of the church would want.
I really want this Mom Talk group to survive. It's my life right now. It's what makes me happy.
I don't know if Mom Talk is going to survive this.
I want to do anything and everything I can to keep this group going. I don't want there to be any more secrets between us. I don't want another scandal. So I'm ready to tell the truth.
I'm anxious. I'm anxious. There's no way I'm going to do this. There was a rumor that Connor was on Tinder. I don't know if you guys remember that rumor.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
And I lied about it because I was embarrassed. I didn't even know it was true until I confronted Connor. And I went to him like, look at this joke. There was more to that. He had been struggling with a porn addiction, and I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to come out because I just feel like there's a whole story. You know, there's a reason why people do certain things. And I think he was just confused. I literally said, I was like, this does not happen to me. Like, this isn't something that happens to me. I literally haven't told anyone. It's just something that we're working through.
Can I ask,
Yeah.
Did it go further than Tinder?
No, he never met up with anybody.
How long had it been going on?
Like our whole marriage.
Ooh.
My first reaction to hearing about Whitney and Connor, jaw on the floor.
When is he talking to these girls?
Yeah, like full-on conversations with women and pictures and all of this stuff.
So they
And-
were sending nude photos?
Yeah,
Connor was too?
Yeah.
As well?
yeah.
Life can be really sticky and complicated, but no matter what you're going through, we have this Mom Talk group to lean on and use as a support system. And right now, Whitney's needing us, and we need to be there for her.
Makes me feel like my whole marriage was just like a lie.
Yeah,
That's hard.
I could see why with porn, it makes a little more sense. Okay, he's confused sexually, but with Tinder, I feel like it's different.
How do you know he didn't? He's just telling you
that
didn't
is
know, but how do you
cheating.
know?
That's fully cheating.
You don't.
By word,
Okay. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I guess I just hope that, yeah, like you don't look at Connor differently.
You guys can look past my stuff. Connor's okay.
We're just here to support you no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I originally said to everyone that I had left because of all the mom talk drama. Like, I felt like I couldn't go anywhere. But honestly, like, we left because I just wanted to get away. I wanted to get away from everything because I wanted to just think for myself and everything.
So not great. Not a great thing to do. And they have weathered storms, but then a couple months later, or I guess like a year later, he opened up at the season 2 reunion saying that he was sexually abused as a child. And sorry, this video is like super background noisy. And I know that was like a hard turn, like he cheated on his wife, he was sexually abused, but I'm just kind of going through, they kind of presented it on the show like as having to do with each other. And even though this was on season 2, it was filmed on season 1 when he was talking about the cheating. I don't know why the show didn't release it later.
Me and my therapist and my family when I was a little boy. I was raped. And when I was finally honest with that emotion and that memory, everything made sense. The validation I needed, I hate that I did that to you. But I'm so proud that I was able to be honest with you and start working through some really, really hard stuff.
Hey, Mommy.
Watching this in front of your kids is crazy.
It like turns me into a victim when in this scenario and not. These were actions I took. I had a real problem and it led to something that really hurt my life. I'm so sorry.
Ugh.
Once again, I'm so sorry that
A child call.
I just want to acknowledge how brave you are for opening up about this. Obviously, it's very difficult. And you
No, he didn't really talk about the
obviously
hair
seem
transplant.
here for Connor. It's so sad to hear that story, but just really proud of you both for being able to share. How are you doing, and how are you feeling now?
I want to thank everyone here for the sensitivity around the topic. I don't trust myself or my emotions when talking about this. So I wrote a few things down, if that's okay. That was a very difficult part of my past. And something I've worked hard to heal from.
I'm sorry, that guy looks so much like Charlie Kirk. I'm so sorry, it's not the time.
So many people hear experiences like that, even though they may not talk about them. For me, those experiences shaped me and developed really destructive habits. And they don't define who I am today. What matters is how we grow, how we find resilience, and how we support each other moving forward. And if anyone listening has been through something similar, I want you to know I'm sorry. Healing is possible, and your story doesn't end with what happened to you. I thank you for the time.
You have a lot of people there. You have a lot. I'm so
Even though they may not talk about them, for me, those experiences shaped me.
Why are you crying?
The kid.
Destructive habits,
This.
but they don't define who I am today.
Okay, so obviously he is very, very emotionally intelligent in my view. Like, I think he really was able to, like, talk about this and be open, and I really, really admire that. A lot of people have really mixed feelings about this. A lot of people say that Connor's grown on them. I would agree with that. I think he's been very honest. I talked about them a lot in my Whitney stream. They've both grown on me over the years. I still think it's like really sad that he was on Tinder for years in his marriage. That makes me really, really sad. And I can't imagine how painful that was to find out. That would be really hard. And I don't know, like the whole situation makes me sad. Like, obviously him being abused makes me sad. Like, the whole thing makes me sad, and it's very depressing. He is a victim and was not a great husband, but he has gotten better. That's really how I feel about it. Like, it just seems so, like, hard all around for both of them. I'm surprised it still seems like they're happily married. That would be a lot to go through. There's some people that have been here a very, very long time. It's Tom, though, who has subscribed for 34 months. And Connor and Whitney, like I said, they've grown on me. Connor frequently accompanies his wife to various events. So he started as one of the most hated husbands because, like, I think the show kind of did him dirty by not airing his interview where he talked about his abuse as a child. I don't know if they wanted that or what the situation was, but in season 1, everyone was like, this guy sucks. He cheated on his wife. And then in season 2, everyone was like, oh my God, he's been through so much. He is like such an inspiration for speaking out. I think you can hold both of those opinions. I think like people are dynamic. But yeah, I think it sucks that he cheated on his wife and it sucks that he was abused as a child. They now appear to be one of the most like rock solid like couples in the show. And they did a lot of marriage counseling. They had a third baby, and he had a job for a very long time at a hedge fund, and he would work from home because it was like international based in Dubai. Like I said, he's in a lot of her videos. He says, you can tell she grew up in the fine arts. She's like, chin up, back straight, you're off half a beat, and I'm trying, I'm sweating. And he is, in my opinion, one of the better husbands on the show. He actually left his job to support her career and provide childcare for their kids. It's hard to hear, sorry. It does seem like he respects Whitney. That's what I will give him, and that's why I'm kind of being nice to him.
No, I haven't done anything for Billy. I've done nothing.
I'm feeling like the worst mom. I'm trying to do it all right now, and I feel defeated. I just don't feel like I've been as present and have been showing up for my kids like how I would like to.
You don't need to worry about that. I have that covered, I promise. But I feel like it's just one small thing to a much bigger picture. What's going on?
I'm just overwhelmed.
See, I don't want you to feel...
So, we'll see him later. What I feel about him is that he fucked up egregiously for years in their marriage, and now he's trying to, like, pay his penance or whatever you say. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, okay, now I basically have to live for you because I fucked you over repetitively for years. So that's why when people are like, he's an amazing husband, I'm like, I don't know. Like, he did lie to her and fuck her over for years. It's like his frontal lobe developed. Yeah, I don't really know what to say on that.
Let me tell you, love my job. And being a stay-at-home parent, it's very easy to lose a sense of self. I've tried to take this as an opportunity for me to express myself in ways I don't think I would have had time for before. So, something I've been doing, tell me, you're not gonna believe this. Magic. Have you? I've been practicing my close-up magic.
I also wanted to get our nuance out of the way at the beginning.
I'm doing pretty good at it. I practice all night, so I can like make cards appear out of thin air. Close-up magic is an outlet for me. I would go to talent shows as a kid, and I would perform magic. Is that a little goofy? Maybe, but I love it. As long as you can find the things that give you value and purpose, like being a stay-at-home parent can be not only fulfilling for your children, but fulfilling for you. I just need something where I can like practice and train at.
I just need to stimulate myself some.
Yeah, and to be fair, like Whitney and Jen, when they were stay-at-home moms, I think they felt the same way.
I think that's why they started TikTok.
That's exactly.
So that's what I will give him. Like, he recognizes you stayed at home for years, you supported my career for years, and I was lying to you and fucking you over the entire time. And then when he admitted that, he was like, okay, let me try and be a good husband now. And so I'm like pretty neutral on him. Like I said, being the best husband on the show is not exactly a high bar. He did do an off-Broadway thing while she was on Broadway. And they post a lot of TikToks joking about their lavender marriage, being like, we're not in a lavender marriage. And in an interview, Whitney said, we know our marriage, and also, if people have lavender marriages, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. And their TikToks are fun. Like, I think they would be a fun time. They would be like a fun couple to be hanging out with at a party. That's what I get from them. They seem like a fun time. Like, it's just kind of cutie. It's kind of fun. With their aggressively white children. Ally. It does seem like he takes direction well. You know, I think it's I think it's cute, whatever. So good. He admitted when he cheated. He was vulnerable and shared his essay story with millions of people. He helps a lot with childcare. It seems like he's kind of leading the charge on childcare. He gave up his career to take care of the kids so she felt more comfortable to pursue her career. Sexuality is still unknown. He doesn't care. She doesn't care. So I don't care. Not my problem. Not my marriage. Bad. Cheated on his wife. Lied to her for years. Consistently cheated for years. One might think that takes a demented soul to lay in bed with someone every night as you lie to them for years. Kind of short. In dad talk videos, he should know better. He should know better than to be in dad talk. He's a little nerdy, but I think he's kind of sweet. So, lack of hemming pants, another one. So that was a relatively soft start. I wanted to get our nuance out of the way. I think they've both grown a lot on the show, and honestly, I kind of like him better of anyone. But when I typed this, the next person I actually think I like more. I'm taking it back. I don't like Connor best of all. I like the next person more. Mr. Redacted hates Connor, thinks he's a liar, and will never get over the Tinder incident. He's like, you lied to your wife for years. You lied to your wife for years. Like, he's just like, there's no other information other than that to Mr. Redacted. So just wanted to share that little nugget with you. Like, he's very upset about the Tinder incident. So moving on to Jacob. Jacob belongs to Macy. They are married. I'm going to go out here and say that Jacob, I think, is my favorite guy on the show in terms of he hasn't committed crimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, Connor has shown a lot of depth and growth and nuance. Jacob has not done much, but he has not committed crimes. I have not read her book. So who is Jacob? He's not on the show much at all, and he is not very messy. He is sometimes in her TikToks, but he is usually silent. Macy has been very, very open about how she went through an abusive relationship when she was young, and it seems like she is very take no shit. Like, she learned a lot about abuse and manipulation and emotional health and safety and all of that, and it seems like she really maintains her boundaries and her standards and all of that, and I read that from him too. So, like I said, he's pretty unbothered. Someone said he's a little too easily persuaded by the boys of dad talk when we do see him. I do agree with that, and we will get into that in a little bit. So here is him in a TikTok with her. They're both very tall, I think. So she, a lot of this is like from book promo and things, so that's why it's kind of written like booky. So before Macy met Jacob, she was with a different guy named Eric, crazy spelling, and Eric was died in a car accident in 2015 while Macy was pregnant. So super, super, super traumatic. Macy is super traumatized from that. I don't know every detail of this, so I'm not going to speak too much on it. She does have a book. It's on my list. And she was raising her son Hudson as a single mom, and she was in school at BYU. She played tennis for BYU, and she met Jacob through friends at BYU. He chose to be a daddy to a baby that wasn't biologically his at 20, and I believe she was 21 and he was 20. And I think, like, that's crazy. I would never do that. Like, I would never do that at 20. Like, I would never do that at 20, but whatever. Can we hear Mr. Redacted favorite housewives? Ooh, I'll ask him. Actually, I think I know. He loves Nene. He loves Nene. He loves Nene down. So anyway, that song made me want to viscerally cry. He seems like a bare minimum good guy. That's how I feel. Like, I think he's a good guy. I think he's a nice guy. He's not causing problems. I put him above Connor because he didn't cheat on his wife and lie to her for years. So to me, he's just like, fine. Like, he's cool. Whatever. So when Hudson was 7 months old, I met a guy called Jacob through a friend. They remained friends for a while. Macy said she was terrified of getting hurt again. After 4 months, I couldn't deny my feelings any longer. He was kind and funny and made me feel safe. Hudson adored him, and slowly but surely, Jacob helped to heal a broken heart. Then they got engaged in 2017, a couple years later. And Jacob included Hudson in the proposal process, and 4 months is wild to me too, but I don't know if the guy that, like, she was in the abusive relationship with was the father of her child or not. I don't know the situation there. But this is how Jacob proposed to her. One day he arranged for us to have a couple's photo shoot. He insisted that Hudson join us. Halfway through the shoot, the photographer said, "Let's get some shots of the three of you reading this book." Jacob made a book and about how we met and fell in love with lots of sweet pictures of our time together. And on the final page, it said, "Now it's time for your happily ever after. Will you marry me?" So, very cute. Eric is Hudson's father. Jacob is, Macy's husband, because Eric passed away while Macy was pregnant. And so Macy and Jacob got married in 2018, and in his vows he said, "I feel blessed for a 2-in-1 deal." And I want everyone to keep in mind the Mormon disclaimer. The worst thing a woman can be is single. Being a single mother is the worst thing you can be as a Mormon. So being a pregnant, like, teen mother and then being a single mother, even though there's a death involved, like, judgment knows no bounds. So the fact that this, like, stand-up Mormon guy who could have gotten with any traditional Mormon girl was like, "No, I love you, I love your son, and I want to marry you." I think that is really relevant. And that's why I kind of like him, because, like, he kind of went against the societal expectation and norm by not marrying, like, the other perfect Mormon girl. They have kids. He did officially adopt Hudson, which I think is beautiful. And they have 2 daughters together, Harlow and Charlie, born 2021 and 2025. Here's some more TikToks of them.
I have a secret to tell you. All the girls know, Jeremiah knows.
Spray tan after birth is crazy.
You're not going to say anything to any of the other guys, because it's not...
I would do it. Like, crazy good.
But I'm a mommy.
Mommy? Mamacita. Mamacita.
I think they're cute and fun. He's not 10 years younger. I think they're like a couple months apart. I think they're cute. Like I said, I like them. He has a job. He still has a job. Has had a job the whole time. We don't hear about his job. He's a finance consultant at A2 Management. And before that, he worked in finance and strategy at a financial tech company. So, cool. That's why I like him. They did IVF on the show. He was very supportive. He was doing the injections with her. Like I said, I could not find, like, a crime other than him being a little bit bro-y with the dad talk guys. So he is not super into the dad talk, but he still does it. This is what gets me. Is you don't have, like, why are you in it? Like, if you're going to talk shit about it, why are you doing it then? You don't have to do it. Having a job will become increasingly rare.
Jordan's really eager to go to the villa. I don't know why. I think he's too eager.
Let me start it over, sorry.
Jordan's really eager to go to the villa. I don't know why. I think he's too eager. I think it's kind of a scene for single people and also just experience our wife's had last year. My first reaction, honestly, was like, I wasn't going to go to the villa because our baby is literally 6 weeks old. But then Macy actually nudged me to go. But I honestly don't think it's a good idea at all for Dad Talk to go. It might just turn into a big shit show. So I think we should just do something else. Maybe we should go take the kids to the park and just hang out in Utah still.
But then he went. So that's where I'm lost.
Come on, you have to believe me. Please. You have to believe me.
And she, like, yells at him on the show for agreeing with the dad talk. She's like, "Well, I think that you're falling for his lies and you're an idiot." And he's like, "Wow, Thank you. I appreciate that perspective. Like, she really seems to have him well trained. And so a lot of people liked a couple of these moments with him that I found, like I said, he's barely on the show. He's like he doesn't talk much. He doesn't get involved in drama much. You don't see a ton from him. Main times that we see him is Macy being like, can you believe this happened? And then he's just like kind of there. But a lot of people noticed that he got really emotional when, one of the women was sharing about her sexual assault as a child. He got really emotional about that and was like very like validating to her. But other people noticed that when the police got called to a Halloween party, Jessie it was at her house, so she went out alone to talk to the police because her husband was getting ready for a Chippendales dance. So Jacob went with Jessie so that she didn't have to go talk to the police alone. So a lot of people have noticed like little small things that just show he's like a nice, good guy. So like I said, if I had to pick one as like least awful, I would pick him. Sometimes he's kind of bro-y with the dad talk guys. He's in videos with dad talk. He went on the trip with dad talk. Yeah, so good. He works a job. He's had literally a good job the whole time. Great. Seems like he's a good dad. Seems very involved with children. You see him in multiple scenes, making bottles, taking care of children. It doesn't appear to be like for the cameras. He looks like he like knows what he's doing. He adopted Hudson, which I think is an incredibly kind thing to do. It seems like he's really mature. There's no cheating allegations. There's no abuse allegations. So overall, like he's in pretty good graces with me. Bad. Makes videos with dad talk, sometimes is giving male-centric. Like, sometimes you can tell, like, yeah, you are a white man that was raised in Utah. And he kind of looks like Charlie Kirk. Like, I'm sorry, I just can't get past it. So, those are the only two that I like. I would happily eat a meal with either of them. Like, if I ever was on an opportunity and I saw them somewhere and we were sitting down, I would talk to them and have a grand old time. I think they're literally fine. They're fine. Like I said, Connor's more high highs, low lows. Jacob is like a strong, normal middle. I prefer a strong, normal middle. Personally, stability is the sexiest thing ever. And Jacob appears to be giving consistent, normal. So now we're going to get into Brett. Brett Engman, I guess is his name. He belongs to Demi. We do not see them a ton. You guys are going to hate this so much. You guys are going to hate this so much. They have been in each other's lives long before their relationship turned romantic. They met when Demi was 9 years old. Yep. And Brett was married to his first wife, Angie Harrington, who was on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'll give you a moment. Sorry, I was replying to a chat. Someone asked about my Todd Chrisley stream, and it is on my YouTube. So, we're off to a really incredible start. Woo, woo, woo. He was also on the Oakland Raiders. I quite literally don't care about that at all, but for all of them, I just Googled the husband's name, and it was like professional football player. And I was like, that's so weird that he has the same name as a professional football player. And so then I kept Googling, and I was like, oh, wait, it's him? No, not Angie K. Angie Harrington. Angie Harrington. She was a friend of. There's like a party at her house, and then she's at a different party. We barely see Angie Harrington, but interesting lore. So he got married to his second wife, Angie Harrington, from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City around 1999. They had 2 children, Cole and Rome, and they've been divorced for a really long time. And Angie said that breaking up with the golden boy of Provo put her under a tough microscope, and she ended up getting remarried in 2017. So like Angie gets divorced from this guy who's a professional football player, Mormon, like that guy, and that he does have really dead eyes. And so Brett's current wife, Demi, has mentioned that he was also married to this other girl 6 years after his first marriage for only 6 months, and it was more like an annulment. What the fuck? And what? Why have you been married so many times? 3? 3. He made the Shaw Exposed page? You're lying. Second wife? I think that might be wrong, because I got this from an article, but I think The second wife is the 6-month one. I'm pretty sure Angie Harrington was his first wife and they met in college. I think this article, or might have been Reddit, was wrong. I told you there was like not going to be too much fact checking tonight. And him and Angie Harrington have like an appropriate age relationship. Like I think they met in college when they were both college students. He skipped his senior year to enter the 2003 draft. After going undrafted, he signed with the Oakland Raiders on April 30th. He was released on July 30th. Tough. No, it's Angie's current husband. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. That was going to be crazy. I'll get into that at a later date. It's very important to me. I can't get into it right now. So this is another creator. Normally, I only like to use clips, not things from like other creators, but this person did a good breakdown, so we're going to watch it. Sorry. Load!
A 16-year age difference doesn't sound that bad when you're 30 and 46 years old. But when you're 9 years old and your future husband already has a wife and kids, the age gap hits a little different. Let's go over Demi and Brett's relationship timeline because the fact that these two ended up together is really impressive. Especially because there are two separate reality shows involved. And yeah, I'm still talking about the Mormon Wives. These women are interesting. So as I mentioned, Demi and Brett are 16 years apart and they knew each other through a family friend growing up. And Demi herself even said in a TikTok video, he's so much older than me. When I was 9 years old, he was married to his first wife and having babies. And Brett's first wife is none other than Angie Harrington, who appeared on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Demi was also married pre-Brett to a man named Blake Corbin, and the two of them had a daughter together. Now, Brett was kind of a man about town, okay? Everybody knew who he was, and he was a football player at BYU. Well, apparently when Demi turned 18, Brett followed her on Instagram, and she was almost starstruck by it because he was such a big deal around town.
I'm not saying it would be okay if he saw her as a child and then reconnected 20 years later. I'm not saying that would be okay. What I am going to say is that it's way worse that he followed her right when she was 18. That's way fucking worse. I think all of us can recognize that that's way worse. I don't think it would be good if he married her and then was like, oh my God, I can't believe you were a kid at my friend's house. That's crazy. But him following her when she turned 18, way worse. Way worse.
But when Brett followed Demi, she was dating Blake, who she obviously went on to marry. After their daughter was born, Demi was struggling with postpartum, which led to the two of them to open up the conversation about divorce. But during that time, Demi and Blake ran into Brett at the gym, and together the three of them discussed a modeling opportunity for Demi and Blake's daughter. Well, during that conversation, Demi found out that Brett was single and suggested that he try out for The Bachelorette. And then Demi and her husband Blake anonymously submitted him for the show, and Brett was cast on Claire Crawley's season. Now, during the time that Brett was on The Bachelorette, so random, Demi and her now ex-husband Blake decided to officially part ways and divorce. So this season was a shit show, and they ended up leaving after they had already started filming because everybody got sent home because of COVID. So Brett started posting on Instagram, and Demi was like, that's kind of weird that he's posting on Instagram. He's supposed to be on The Bachelorette, so she started DMing him. Well, while they were DMing, she opened up about her divorce and said she was in no point to start another relationship, but just kind of wanted to talk to somebody who had been through it before. So they met up and there was obviously instant chemistry, but out of respect for her divorce, Demi wanted to wait until it was all finalized until the two of them went on an official date. Also, weird side note, apparently TMZ leaked photos of their first official date, and this was while he was on a break from The Bachelorette, and apparently Bachelor producers caught wind of this and freaked the fuck out. Anyway, September 2020, they announced they are in a relationship. March 2021, they announced they are engaged.
Incredible.
And 4 days after that, they get married. And that, my friends, is the story of Demi and Brett. How are you guys feeling about this relationship timeline?
So, absolutely fucking insane. Just to go through that real quick. She knew him when she was a child because he was famous in the town. He followed her when she was 18 years old. Then when he got divorced, she ran into him at the gym and he was like, oh, I have a modeling opportunity for your daughter. We have no idea where that went. And then her and her husband are like, you know what you should do? You should go on The Bachelorette. Her and her husband signed him up for The Bachelorette. While he's filming The Bachelorette, her and her husband decide to get divorced. So she's DMing Brett about how difficult it is to be divorced. And she's like, but wait. We can't be in a relationship until I'm actually divorced. So that's what they do. They wait, and then they get married almost immediately. That brings us up to speed.
Get ready with me while I tell you the long overdue story of how my husband and I met. There's not necessarily a reason that I've waited this long to make this video, but there has been a lot of controversy around our relationship and the fact that we got into a relationship very quickly after my divorce.
I used to work with Mormons. I feel desensitized to the marriage
timeline. He'd been married a couple
timeline.
times before me. I'll get into all of that in another video. For now, let's just focus on how we met.
Convenient.
So if you don't know, my
We're
husband
still
and I are
waiting on the
16
other
years
video.
apart, and I knew him through a family friend growing up, but he was so much older than me, and so like when I was 9 years old, he was married to his first wife and having babies. And I honestly don't think we ever met or crossed paths, which is so insane because the family friend that I knew him through was one of my best friends growing up, and I was over there all the time and he was over there all the time, but we somehow always
your
just like
parents?
missed each other, or maybe we just didn't realize because of the huge age gap and he wasn't worried
She's
about a
like
little
about the
friend
same
around.
age as his
Needless to
kids.
say, I was very aware of his existence. I thought he was just like so cute, like an innocent little girl crush. My family friend's dad was really close to Brett at the time because he played football for university out here, BYU, and he was the quarterback. Because of this, obviously they would watch all of his games and I heard his name a lot growing up. Fast forward to when I'm 18 years old, I see him follow me on Instagram.
Like, no one
And I'm
made you tell us
currently
that.
Dating my ex-husband, but we're on a break. And I was just kind of like starstruck because I always had a little crush on him and heard about him, and he was just like the star of our hometown.
The star of a
His
town.
family was also like a really big deal. His dad worked at Capitol Records with like tons of A-list celebrities, and his sister was married to Larry King. Him and his family were just kind of the talk of the town. Obviously, being kind
I don't
of a
trust
big
people
deal
who
in a
date
small
people
town,
their
he
kids'
would
age.
attract
I agree.
haters, and there was quite the
I'm shocked
interesting
this came
rumors
directly from
going
her.
around
Me too.
about this man. I'm struggling. Needless to say, I wrote him off as a bad boy and just kind of continued my life. Ended up marrying my ex-husband and then never talked to him or interacted with him. I don't think we had even had one correspondence ever until we finally reconnected. So my husband gets divorced and then like 6 years later marries this other girl, and that lasts about 5 or 6 months. They get divorced and I'm running out of time. I'll do a part 2.
So, absolutely horrifying. I'm terrified. Like, I actually want to crawl through the floor, and I can't do this. So this is more just on that timeline. Here's their first picture together. There's been absolutely nothing conventional or easy about our journey so far, other than how crazy we are about each other. Nothing excites me more than thinking about continuing through the craziness of life with Brett by my side. And then she married him a couple days later, which is fucking insane. He does have kids. They have a blended family. She has a daughter. He has kids. And she refers to him as the future father to our own children one day. They've had fertility issues. They've talked about it on the show. She was in her mid-20s when they got married. She was in her mid or late 20s, I believe, because she's 30 now, and they've been married for a couple years. So your ability to maintain consistently loyal to your role as father and stepfather while navigating all that life throws your way. You're the perfect example of what a man, husband, and father should be, and I'm the luckiest to have a front row seat to watch it and experience it all. So... yikes.
It's fine. It's not, and that's okay that it's not.
A lot of people liked him for
Nothing
this,
matters.
but
Nothing matters.
I don't think
Taylor, I
it's
hope you feel validated.
great.
That's not an okay thing to happen. And it's okay for you to feel sad.
Yeah, but I feel like I was awful too, so yeah.
They do kind of look like father and daughter.
Well, it doesn't justify his actions.
It doesn't justify me either. Like, I feel like we all both have valid reasons to leave at this point. Yeah. It just sucks because we just had a baby, so.
Taylor, do you feel like you are deserving of love?
Every scene that he's in, I just fucking die laughing at because everyone is so young and then he's just fucking there. Like, he just sticks out like a sore thumb every time. Every single time. Oh, she has endometriosis. I think you're right. He should not be, like, literally look at... And I can't be one to judge about an age gap relationship. You will not hear a judgment out of my mouth about that because I would be a hypocrite. I did not meet that man when I was 9 years old, okay? I had a college degree when I met that man. It's different, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
You are. You definitely are. You absolutely are. But you have to realize that. That has to come from within you.
Looking like their pastor.
I don't want to make this about me or Whitney, but
So, like, that was a nice comment that he made, I guess. And he's wise because he's on his 3rd round of marriage. And he gets involved with the women's drama a lot. That is why he is on my criminal list, other than the fact of, like, him following her when she was freshly 18, which is still the worst part to me and is so telling. But he's always involved with their drama. And he makes TikToks about them.
She doesn't want to fit, right? But then, she goes on Dancing with the Stars on live television.
So he literally, mind you, 50-year-old man. Okay? 50-year-old man, 50-year-old man getting on your iPhone and making TikToks about women in their 20s. 50 years old, mind you, 50.
You're a shitty person. Hey, the feeling's mutual, dipshit. Let's just say it out. It's so hard to take you seriously with your little munchkin balls.
Like, he fights with the other men. He, like, too much damn time on his hands. I just kind of can't, because I feel like, you guys might be mad at me, but I feel like if you're gonna be the older, weird husband of a reality star, you should just be fucking quiet. Like, you should literally just be quiet. Like, why are you on here? Like, why are you talking? So, good, there wasn't cheating or abuse allegations. He is a serial marrier, but I didn't see that he cheated on anybody. He doesn't seem super jealous of his wife's success. Like, he's nice to her is what I mean. Like, on the show, you'll see a lot of men are terrible to their wives. He's nice to his wife, like, from what we've gathered. He's generally kind and respectful to the other women on the show. He does make TikToks about them and is fucking petty. He does have a job. He has, like, a sales job I found online, whatever, I guess. Bad. Followed Demi the day she turned 18, when he knew her when she was a small child. Failed as a husband and father on round 1, is messy and petty online as a grown-ass man, has a very punchable face, and I'm sorry, I'm still not over him meeting Demi when she was a literal child. Like, why are we not talking about that every single second of every single day? And for those of you on TikTok who want to see the pictures and all of that, you have to come to Twitch to be able to see everything. So, I don't like him. Like, So where Connor and Jacob, I could genuinely have a good convo with, have a laugh, and I think enjoy. Brett, I could be, like, silent around. Brett, I could be like, right? Weather is crazy. Like, I could do that. I think that's big of me, too. How are her parents okay with this? Mormon disclaimer. As a Mormon woman, you cannot get into heaven if you are not married. And let's not forget that Demi was a single mother when she, like, started dating him. So that's why her parents were like, oh, and keep in mind, he is, like, golden boy of Provo, played professional football, he's famous in their town. I have a feeling that Demi's parents said, go on home, girl. This could not have worked out better. Would have been better if you'd married him at 18 instead of that other guy. We would have much preferred that. But I have a feeling they were into it. Did he call someone white trash? I can't remember. I bet he did, though. So moving on to Chase and Miranda. Chase, I'm not going to say belongs to Miranda. They were married. They are divorced, and she does not claim him, and she is one of his biggest haters. So I'm not going to affiliate her with him, but they were married at a point in time. So he is from the original soft swinging scandal. Basically, all these Mormons were soft swinging. Soft swinging means they were making out with each other. The girls were making out. They were having sex in the same room, but they were not swapping partners. So apparently, he fell in love with Taylor. And Chase is community dick. Perfect description. Chase is a whore. So he fell in love with Taylor, and he approached Taylor at the gym and was like, I'm in love with you. And Taylor was like, we can't do this. But then they were texting each other all the time. So starting off super strong, he cheated on his wife with her best friend, essentially. We are covering the men. Layla, I'm not going to cover. She dated a guy briefly, and she hasn't really talked about her ex, so she's not really in this, but she is on my list to stream about her. So she is on my list, but yeah, you know, I'm in trouble on TikTok Live for bullying and harassment, so you have to come to Twitch because I'm going to get kicked off. Sorry. So Chase did cheat on his wife with her best friend. Absolutely incredible. Chase and Miranda had been married since 2017. That controversy happened like right after they had a baby. So absolutely, absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. And then they ended up getting divorced a couple years later. They were separated for a while. Layla has a girlfriend now. Oh my goodness. I knew she came out as bisexual, but I didn't know she had a girlfriend. So Chase is a garbage husband. I think he's a terrible husband. They were not married for long. He probably cheated multiple times, if I had to guess, just seeing his vibe. I don't like him. And so Taylor is the one that revealed the soft swinging in 2022, and that led to him and Miranda getting divorced. But in episode 10 of season 3, Chase and Taylor met up for a date, and he admitted that he crossed a line during that time. Honestly, Taylor, I always thought you were one of the coolest people before he suggested that they kiss for old time's sake. So he is literally just a slut. Like, I kind of can't with him. He also got a DUI in 2025. He was arrested and charged for possession of a controlled substance and driving under the influence. It looks like it's snowing in Utah. That's what I'll say. He addressed this on TikTok. He said, I was pulled over for driving under the influence. I had ingested substances I shouldn't have and got behind the wheel of a car in an extremely short-sighted, selfish, dangerous decision. His license was suspended, and he was pulled over and eventually charged on speeding and driving without a driver's license and driving on a suspended license. So absolutely incredible. Learned nothing immediately. I don't think they're Mormon anymore. And then he did not appear for his court date, and so reports claimed that they issued a warrant for his arrest, but he appeared later for an arraignment, and he said, no arrest warrant. I rescheduled the 9 a.m. hearing to 1 p.m. due to sick daughter and Miranda being out of town today. So he sucks. Apparently he dated Layla for a little bit, and apparently he kissed Jesse. I don't even fucking know. Layla said that relationship was very, very, very brief. I wouldn't even say it was a relationship, to be honest. I did not get to know Chase on a deep level at all. And then in March 2022, Miranda told ET, Entertainment Tonight, that Chase was dating Jesse. She did not disclose if they were a couple, just said they'd been talking and they kissed. Although I do feel disrespected by Chase, I feel slighted by my friend. Chase and I are no longer partners, and while I have a high expectation of him as a co-parent, I also hold my friends to a high standard and believe in the girl code. And so Jesse sent Miranda flowers that said, I completely understand you being upset with me, but I wanted to send you a little something to let you know that I am thinking about you, and I'm so, so sorry. He gets around. And I know Miranda is sick of this. Like, imagine, this is what gets me. He's a fuckboy. Like, he is a fuckboy. Imagine you married the fuckboy you dated when you were 19 and you had kids with him, so now you have to deal with him for the rest of your fucking life, and you know he's gonna fuck your friends. You know he is. Because that's what they do. Because that is what they do. So there's a lot to unpack here. She wrote a song about him, and before I play the song, I want to say that women being creative is so important, and I think especially when women become mothers, and especially in Utah, people shame them for their creative endeavors, and I know we are not going to do that. Okay? I know you're going to be well behaved.
Love you for life, let the couch paying out bills, medicated for panic attacks.
I think it's important that she processes her trauma through art. And if that is on a motorcycle in a well-produced music video, who am I to have a problem with it? And this is his reaction to that.
You know what? It's summertime, baby. We're taking some swings. We don't care.
So good. I don't think he's physically harmed anyone. It seems like he's created a lot of emotional harm to many people, but I don't think he's hit anyone. He is kind of hot. I will give him that, but he looks a lot like my ex-boyfriend, so I'm not into it, but I get it. I don't think he is evil at his core. I think he's horny and stupid and a fuckboy. Like, he is a fuckboy. I don't think he's going to physically harm anyone intentionally. Cheating creates physical harm because you can spread STIs and things like that. So know that that's true. But I don't think he, like, has a desire to, like, control or to hurt or manipulate. I think he's literally just so horny and so stupid. So, yeah. Bad. Cheated on his wife with her best friend. Not good. Continues to terrorize his ex-wife by dating all of her friends. Seems like an idiot. No job. He chases clout, and he got a DUI. So I don't like him. I don't want to be in a room with him, but I'm not afraid of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just very stupid. I would be afraid to be in a car with him, but, you know. I feel like he has... It doesn't feel like he has malice intent. He's just a dumb slut. How does he keep getting away with this? No, literally. He has good politics, especially for Utah. That is true. He's a Democrat. He said he's a Democrat. He's openly political and always stands up for Miranda in comments. That is true. He never says anything negative about his ex-wife. We can put that in the good. He's like, I fucked our marriage up. She was amazing. Like, it... God, the bar is in hell. Like, the bar is just truly in hell. My screen is messed up. Hold on, I can't see you guys. There we go. The bar is literally in hell. Lower than hell, actually. Can't get lower than this. Yes, it can. Dakota. I didn't want to end on Dakota. It felt evil to end with Dakota. He is awful. He is awful. He was her boyfriend. They said they were going to get married, whatever. He came into Taylor's life after her divorce and the infamous soft swinging scandal. He has apparently worked construction and contracting and tiling, but now he really just does social media. I'm ranking him above Demi's old man. Okay, they're pretty neck and neck. I feel like they have equal crimes to me. Okay, now I can't go live. I'm getting progressively meaner things from TikTok. It was like, violation, live restricted. And I put all adults on here. We should be able to talk. It's my freedom of speech. So anyway, he does not have much of a job, but he has had a job historically. He is from Caldwell, Idaho. He has 4 siblings. He was on this dumbass show called The Island that was like barely even a thing. He said, I'm from Idaho and I'm a bird farmer. I'm at that point in life where I don't want to be a bird farmer for the rest of my life. I work for my dad and this reached out to me and I felt like, why not give it a try? He is an idiot. So Taylor had recently divorced Tate Paul, her ex-husband, during the soft swinging scandal, and she and Dakota met and became public very, very quickly and moved very, very quickly. She got pregnant within months, but had an ectopic pregnancy, and they described, both of them said that was devastating. Her and him, were on and off. They broke up. They reconciled. He wanted a big commitment immediately. He was like, let's get married. I want to get married too. Like, he wanted to lock that the fuck down. Taylor said she never felt fully emotionally safe or secure with him. And even before filming, her friends, the other women, did not really like him and felt like their relationship was extremely volatile. He also has been candid about his recovery from drug addiction. He has a history of substance abuse. He started taking painkillers for knee pain, and then it progressed into full-blown addiction, including heroin, M30 pills, and he has spoken at length about this. He has relapsed multiple times, been kicked out of rehab, but he has been clean for a while now. And he said, I'm very paranoid about things now. He keeps eye drops in his pockets so people won't think that he's high, which I felt like was a weird thing to say. And he said that he has been sober through some of the hardest shit he's ever been through in his life. And there is domestic violence between Taylor and Dakota. The very famous one. I go through this very in depth on my Taylor Frankie Paul stream. That stream ended up being almost 3 hours. Most of it's on YouTube. But yeah, it's horrible. And they argued one night in February 2023, and Taylor threw chairs and other objects, and one struck her daughter, and Dakota called the police. What most of the reports do not talk about is the fact that Dakota locked Taylor in the garage and then was filming her, and the entire incident is on film. And Taylor was arrested that night, and she basically pled in the situation. And like I said, in my other stream, we watched the body cam footage. I believe that Taylor is the victim in this situation, and I believe that Taylor was the victim on this night. He locked a postpartum mother who had just gone through an ectopic pregnancy in a garage away from her children, and then opened the door and immediately started filming her. And this was in her house. This was not a shared residence. This was in her house. He could have chosen to leave at any moment in time. The police did not ask him to leave, and the police arrested him. And like I said, I go through about 30 minutes of body cam footage on my other stream where I point out a couple things that I think will be very enlightening to any of you that want to go watch that. And then shortly after that incident, she announced that they were having a baby. Yay, a rainbow baby. Yay. I personally think that Dakota used the ectopic pregnancy to trauma bond Taylor, and he probably weaponized God. I think he was like, because they're Mormon and he's really into Mormonism, and he's always talking about how Taylor needs to submit to him. I think he said, see, God wants us to have a baby. God wants us to stay together. We have to get through this together. I am genuinely terrified of him. I would not be surprised if we find out way worse things about him in the future. I think that he needs to be watched. I think that he is insane, and I think that he would absolutely, if he had the opportunity. And here is a clip of Macy kind of reading him towards the beginning of the show.
And I hear more fights or different things. I'm like, I don't like him. And I think for me, it's a mixture of like my past and seeing similar. You're nothing like my abuser. Let me just put that straight so you're not thinking I'm calling you an abuser or anything like that. Because I don't want you to think I'm doing that. But there's been similarities with like jealousy and possessiveness and like sometimes emotional abuse with like language and things where I'm like, that's not okay.
So this girl, she's just trying to get her point across with this poor friend of hers. From moment one, I could tell that this girl is in an abusive relationship with this guy, Dakota. He's a fucking piece of shit. From that moment they were in that fight, he used her drunkenness against her and leveraged those cops and got her arrested, and she should have been out from moment one, but of course she got wrangled in, and he's obviously clearly a narcissist, probably a malignant narcissist. He's got addiction issues from the past. He uses all of this shit against her. Look at his response.
You just want what's best for us.
No, I do.
And like, so I think it was hard because like, if you're still feeding into her ear, like, be done with him.
Yeah.
Like in this situation, like, I think that's like really hard for me.
Yeah, that's exactly how a narcissist will respond. That's exactly how an abuser will absolutely glossing over and not at all addressing the issues and the abusive language and the emotional abuse, and this woman has clear and very valid concerns. He's not addressing a single one. I just hope you want what's best for us. And if you're in her ear, no. She's dealing with a narcissist.
So I agree with everything that lady said. On the show, Macy also learns from Jenna that Dakota had been seeing two women when he first met Taylor and when he impregnated Taylor and when the DV thing happened and all of that. Jenna believed Dakota was single, and Dakota allegedly canceled plans with Taylor to spend time with Jenna. In my Taylor Frankie Paul stream, we go through like basically Taylor and Jenna meet up. Jenna gives Taylor her phone, lets her read all the text messages, and he was hooking up with both of them and dishonest about it through and through, which is horrifying. And then this is December 2023.
Get ready with me while I talk about why I'm pregnant and I don't have a ring on my finger. That is one of our most common questions is, when are you guys gonna get married? Dakota, when are you proposing? And I would like to first say, if it was Dakota's way, we'd already be married by now. He actually did bring up marriage very early on in our relationship, and I feel like men know, they know early on if they want to marry you. With that being said, he did know that I was going through a lot, and that probably wasn't the best timing, but he did express, you're the girl I want to marry. I've been very open and honest and just stating like, I would like to better myself before I get into another marriage. With that being said, the end goal is to get married. And a lot of people are like, well, you're having a baby now. But I don't feel like I should also be pressured into something else because something else happened, if that makes sense. And I feel like in my position being Mormon, a lot of women would probably go up and get married. Speaking of my lover boy, look what he brought me. Marriage material right here.
Hey-ho.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I just want to better myself, become a better person.
She knew deep down.
So I can be the best wife, partner, mother that I can be. And when you're pregnant, there is a lot of stress on the body, and I honestly didn't want to add more stress with trying to plan a wedding. And I know this is like nobody's business and I don't have to explain myself, but honestly, I just kind of wanted to give like a backstory of like where we are and why. At the end of the day,
I think it was hard for her to say no to marrying him. Glad she did.
I don't need a ring on my finger to prove that I love him and he loves me. Honestly, all you have to do is look at all the shit we've been through in our first year of a relationship, and we're still here. I love that I'm talking about this as I'm getting ready for church. Yes, I'm having a baby out of wedlock, and yes, I can still go to church. Church is for the sinners, not the saints. Now that we've covered all of the heavy stuff,
I feel like she was a little relieved he was cheating, even though it's horrifying. I agree with that.
We're getting ready for baby. We're so excited and so happy. If you're in a shitty place in your relationship, in your life, I promise it does get better, but you have to do a lot of self-work and really trying in order for it to change and get better. It is not an overnight process.
Oh God, honey, no. So they have a baby. She didn't want to get married super quickly. And she said it was hard for him to see the way that she talked about him on the show, i.e. him lying to her and being horribly manipulative. He didn't like that. This is in September 2024.
Count 1, guilty. Count 2, guilty. Count 3, guilty.
Because what he was saying is he was like, well, technically we weren't together. Like, it was always on technicalities. This is season 2. This is like her family is super pressuring her to marry him.
Does anybody want any corn?
I'm good right now, thank you, though.
You're just so quiet. Like, you're just so closed off.
I'm at loss of words.
You guys were together and then not together, and then what's today? What's today looking like, I guess?
I don't know, not...
It's just so exhausting going back and forth, on, off. It's not good. We're all tired of it, like really.
It's obvious. You guys started your relationship on a foundation of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, be honest.
Yeah.
You didn't heal from your divorce. You had a ton of baggage. It's hard because you guys have a damn kid now.
Yeah. I always cry at these things, too.
Shows you're a good human.
Look, a relationship isn't 50-50. It's 100% on both ends. It feels like there's a little bit lacking on one end.
It's gonna take me a while to get there. I hear he slept with another girl. He admitted it. I was so sad that I needed space. He went and hooked up with Jenna that very night. I found out and was bawling my eyes out.
During the time when I slept with the girl, I hung with Taylor 3 times or 2 times.
2 nights after that, and he goes, and Taylor, you're pretty much the only girl I'm seeing. I'm trashed him. You come over the next night, me, and then you go and you hang out with another girl, and then he comes the next night and me again.
Well, okay.
I wasn't lying to you about someone else.
Here's the thing. I'm going to be blunt, freaking honest. He just told me that you guys had seen each other 3 times.
I don't know Taylor.
Before all this. And then you're sitting there telling me that he came over and had sex with you? What does that say about you?
Yikes.
I'm not pointing fingers. You guys...
That's what I'm saying. I was trash.
I know. No. I'm saying that.
Like,
I guess what I'm hearing is you deserved what you got because you.
Because that's what he said.
That's what I hear.
Essentially, someone saying in front of your dad is a little wild. I've done stand up in front of my dad, and I think we're both traumatized from it. Like, we literally have never spoken about it, and he like would not make eye contact with me afterwards. And yeah, we're gonna pretend that never happened. Him literally pointing the finger at her. I feel so bad for her. Her and Dakota did break up a little more legitly this time. They're always very on and off. She's so upset by it. He's being dramatic. Wrapping presents alone, but I'm sober and can be there for my son's first Christmas. She's a hot mess express. A lot of people have asked me, not a lot, actually no one, I just felt like people would be curious. People have asked me of the more recent news about Taylor Frankie Paul. There's some really not good stuff that came out in more reports from Department of Child and Family Services that were leaked. And I think that that's really sad, and I stand by what I said in my stream, is that, like, Mormonism is harmful to women, and when women are harmed, children are harmed, and that, like, those children are being harmed within a culture of patriarchy and within a culture of abuse that's happening, where an abuser is being empowered and allowed to walk free. And when you are being mentally abused, you go on to do crazy things to people that are not true to how you want to be. So I think the whole thing's really sad, and I'm not really going to speak on what her kids are going through, because I think it's really sad. This scene is what radicalized me. Wait, there was another comment I wanted to read. Them ganging up on her in defense of him is insane. No, for real. It is so insane. And then he started doing real estate, I guess, whatever. And he is with a brokerage that was on a different reality TV show. And then in season 3, they were, like, all over each other at Stagecoach, which, like, come on. Come on, man. Come on. Don't do that. Girl, come on. So she revealed that they did hook up at Stagecoach. They're in a toxic cycle of abuse. They are very, very off and on again. She said, "Thank you. I know it's confusing. I'm also confused. However, I'm not in a place where I could be in a healthy relationship. Doesn't mean that's not what I wanted and that no feelings are there. As of now, it's a battle aligning the mind and heart." And what he always says about her is he's like, she's crazy. She's unstable. I don't think that that's wrong. I do think she's unstable, and I do think she's been driven to insanity by all of these horrifying people in Mormonism. But let's say that he is a good guy in the way that he thinks he is or acts like he is. What a good guy would do is be like, this woman is unstable, so I am not going to have any romantic connection with her at all, and 100% of my energy is going to be focused on co-parenting. A good guy would stop fucking her. You know what I'm saying? A good guy, if he saw the mother of his child descending into madness and he was making it worse with the off again, on again, he would be like, you know what? I'm going to be mature and we just need to co-parent. And that's what this is. This is toxic. But he doesn't do any of that. And then she gets named as the Bachelorette and he's pissed.
I mean, where the fuck should I really even start? I got hoes that I'm keeping in the dark. I got my niggas.
The movie Obsession. So he's super pissed about it, and then he sabotaged her going on The Bachelorette after literally terrorizing her for years. Four hours before her flight to LA, he's leaving the house. Look at the way he turns. Look at that smile. Evil. Evil.
What the hell?
That's more about her.
Why don't you get up?
Look at this turn. Look at it. Evil. Do you see that? I see the evil in his eyes. He's taking advantage of her addiction to him. Exactly. There's also a rumor, I don't know if this is true, so I'm not really going to speak on it, but I wanted to show the rumor that people are talking about online, where that they are using together. A lot of people do not believe that he is sober. That is very common that people are saying he's not sober. I don't know about addiction a ton. I don't know about the kind of drugs he was using. I'm not going to say if he's sober or not sober. I'm just going to show you what other people are saying. Who knows if it's true or not? What I will say, so I guess I am going to talk about it, is that would not shock me. If, like, drugs were involved in this disaster and this cycle, that would not shock me.
I thought I said, I'll always love you. I don't think so. You're trying to get out of it. You're so funny. No, because I didn't say that.
So a lot of people think that they used together. A lot of people think that that is why the night before The Bachelorette, they think he came over, they used something together, and that's why she was unable to leave the next morning. And if you remember the next morning, she was like, I'm sick, I can't get out of bed. And she did end up going later. And he has literally admitted that they are in a cycle of power and that he is in power. And then he escalates her and hits record. So we're going to see him admitting it and then him escalating her and then filming her. Yeah, as a sober person, there's a lot of time I thought he was on something throughout the show.
There's part of me that doesn't want to break the cycle because I want to be with her. There's only going to be one person that breaks the cycle, and it's going to be me if I do it. But again, there's part of me that doesn't want to break the cycle because I want to be with her.
Like, he literally just fully said it out loud. I don't want to break the cycle because I want to be with her. He loves having, like, ownership of her and reminding her of that. So this is, I purposely picked one very small. He is filming her screaming at him, and the caption this person says, "I'm sorry, but as someone who has survived domestic violence, I know exactly how Taylor is feeling in this moment. This is why I believe Dakota's behavior was abusive." Why are you filming right now? I think it's so telling that he is filmed. The video of her throwing the stools, he filmed that. There's a lot of rumors saying he is the one leaking documents from Child and Family Services. I don't know if that's true. For those of you on TikTok, you have to come to Twitch and to see like the pictures and the clips that I'm talking about right now. It's on my website. It's free. A Walmart parking lot on Twitch. They are in a really intense custody battle. A lot of it is on Zoom, and it just literally seems horrendous. He is literally dragging her through the mud, dragging her through the ringer. Absolutely awful. He also apparently was hooking up, I guess, with her friend Shania. That apparently happened. And then he has also been accused of stalking Taylor. And she said that he slammed her head into the dashboard of his truck, and he responded by submitting photographs of scratches on him. So this is the thing that happens a lot in domestic violence that's really, really common, and I believe is what happens with them the multiple times police have been called on them, is that when the police arrive, Dakota is regulated and calm, and Taylor is freaking the fuck out, and Dakota's like, yeah, she scratched me, but she's acting crazy. No, don't arrest her. It's fine. She just needs to calm down. And he's painted as the really calm, rational one when she is the one freaking the fuck out. Because that's how abuse works. When you're being abused, you freak the fuck out. And that appears to be happening many, many times in this situation. He's trying to get custody to have more power over her, and it's sick. If he really cared about the child, he wouldn't be doing any of this. The custody thing is so hard because it does not seem like Taylor is in a place to be a stable home and create a stable home for her 3 children. But I also think taking children away from their mother is bad for everyone involved. I'm not a judge. I'm not a social worker. To me, what I've seen on the show and what's in the defects report as well is that Taylor's kids are very comfortable with her sisters. So if I was a judge, I feel like maybe the sisters are the best option right now, because this cycle of abuse is just insane. And it's insane to me that he has had so many custody wins in this cycle of abuse. My heart goes out to women in similar situations in poverty as well. It's hard to leave rich or poor, but obviously Taylor has access to mental health care. It's overall just an absolutely horrifying situation. I really send all the love to those children. This is awful. It's so awful. I'm glad that we have this space here to talk about it, but I just, like I said, it's absolutely horrendous. The fact that we are watching this happen on a national stage breaks my heart. The only thing I can hope is that other women are able to see this and recognize the patterns of abuse in their own life and hopefully break free from it. Taylor appears to now be very passionate about that. And a lot of people get annoyed at me for defending Taylor Frankie Paul. I don't think that Taylor Frankie Paul is in a good situation, and I'm not defending her in a way that I think she's a role model or is in the right. I'm defending her in a way that I think she's being abused, and I think it's happening on a national stage, and I think she's being vilified for it. And I hope that if that was happening to me or somebody that I loved, there would be people being like, hey, that's not okay. Because it's not. And I think a lot of women know how that feels. And the worst thing in the world, to me, that I've experienced is when someone gets that out of you. When someone does something that gets you to do things that are not true to who you are, that gets you to be violent, that gets you to say things, that gets you to do things because you're so scared and you're so incited and there's so much toxicity. So like, I think a lot of people think that, oh, if I was in that situation, I would do this. If I was in that situation, I would do that. I would be pious. I would walk out. I wouldn't do that. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what you're going to do when you're scared. You don't know what you're going to do when you're being manipulated. You don't know what you're going to do. And she is clearly not well at all. And I think being like, she's a horrible mother, she's evil, she's manipulative, none of that is going to bring peace to these children or to her, which is sad. And abusers manipulate the legal system as an extension of their abuse, coercion, and power play, especially when custody is involved. Exactly. So he lies all the time. He'll say, I don't remember. We technically weren't together. He's always saying, you have to let this go. I'm trying. Move on. He's always trying to bring her to marriage. That's a consistent thing we see from him on the show. He always minimizes her concerns. He wants immediate forgiveness, always wants marriage despite trust issues, and is in a repetitive cycle of apologies followed by similar behavior. And this relationship, like we said, is a mess. They have mutual protective orders. There's a lot of judge things involved. There's a lot of custody things involved. I could not find a single positive thing to say about him. I think he has physically abused her, and I think he's emotionally abused her. I think he's probably financially abused her. And I think him like making threats over her reputation and her job is in a way financial abuse, not in a way, it just is. So he's emotionally abusive. He has no career. He's physically abusive. He is an addict. He's a narcissist. He uses court and custody and children as a weapon. He's manipulative. He uses dad talk as a way to stalk her. He will use the other men to get invited to events, to come to things and terrorize her. He is a liar and he is a cheater. If they were married, she would be significantly worse off. I said that on my Taylor Frankie Paul stream. I said Taylor has not made many good decisions, but one of the good decisions she made was not marrying Dakota. So that was super heavy. I didn't want to end with that because it's so intense and so heavy. But that's just a lot. And really, to anyone that's going through a situation like that right now, my heart goes out to you. It's so hard. And just know that there's a lot of shitty people that are going to judge you, but there's a lot of people that are not judging you. And there's people in your corner, and try and get out of it, I guess. I don't have better advice than that. Moving on to another really abusive, horrible man. I do not think he is as bad as Dakota. Again, before we move on from Dakota, I think that Dakota needs to be watched. I am deeply concerned about Taylor's safety, and we statistically know how a lot of these things end up. He has physically harmed her before. I believe he will do it again. And like I said, I hope that the situation gets better for their children and for her. It's a very upsetting. I also hate Jordan. I do not think Jordan is physically dangerous. I only think he's emotionally dangerous. And Jesse is very, very short, I believe. So who is this? This will be a little bit more lighthearted. He is Jordan Natakagara, I think. He is born in 1997. He is younger than Jesse. He grew up with two younger brothers, and he has a teen daughter. He was a teen father, and that relationship did not work out, so a little bit of a failed father. So Jordan and Jesse met while she was married to her ex-husband. So she announced her pregnancy with her ex-husband, Zach Gish, and said, me and my husband are having baby G. And then when her and her husband got divorced while she was pregnant, they said, we're going to co-parent the baby even though we're getting divorced. And she has been adamant that she didn't cheat, but that's not what happened. Here's what she did. So again, here's her first couple posts with her ex-husband. Baby G, we will remain the best of friends despite us getting divorced, etc., etc. And then she announces a couple months later, I'm engaged. Just uploaded a fiance Q&A on my channel. My situation is very unique. Divorced, pregnant, and engaged within 8 months. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can? So You cheated on your husband. Whatever, man. It happens. Like, fucking... I support women's rights and women's wrongs. And, like, I did a stream about Jessie. If you watch that, this is just a promo for all my other streams. She vlogged the entire thing. She vlogged a baby shower when no one knew who the father of her baby was. That takes guts, and I respect it. She said, yeah, what about it? Baby, not your goddamn baby, I fear. So I used to follow Jessie on Instagram. From her hair page on YouTube, the baby's name was Graham. I believe the baby was with her husband, but she cheated on him with Jordan and then found out the baby was Jordan. She was pregnant mid-divorce and they had to do a paternity test. And someone says I have a family member that knows the situation. The husband signed his rights away. I don't think that's true personally. But I go through it more in depth in the Jessie stream. But basically what happened is I think she thought it was her ex-husband's baby. They did a test, it wasn't. And basically in her divorce, there was a legal document that her ex-husband signed saying, this baby is not mine. I do not have paternity of this baby. Like, that was within her divorce. So that's why people are like, he waived his rights. But I think it was just like, as they were getting divorced, he was like, I want a paternity test done. And the results of the paternity test were included in the divorce. What the fuck ever, man. Is that worse than what Dakota did? No. Is that worse than what Brett did? Also no. So, this is what I was saying. There was a court order requiring her to state that Jordan is the natural father and Zach is not the father. She did this in her comments. She said, he's not, my ex is, but then later went on record and said, no, Jordan is the father. And then they have the baby shower for Graham, and yeah, the baby was born April full term, so she would have gotten pregnant in the summer before the December divorce. So Graham is now Jagger. She renamed the baby away from the name with her ex-husband. She was calling him Graham as late as March 2020. He was born in April. Seems like a last-minute change right around the time that she and Jordan got legally married. Also in March 2020, wonder if changing the name was part of the negotiations to get married. So they're engaged. You can see she's pregnant here. Still doesn't even come close to how messy Chase is. Renamed the baby and renamed the father. Why not? And then they got married October 2020 and they named their baby Jagger. Yay. And his dogs are out at the wedding. And then Jordan has a daughter named Peyton from a previous relationship. From all accounts, Jessie and Peyton get along very well, and there's nothing drama-wise there that I know about. So Jessie and him are married for a couple years. They have 2 more children together. So the first one, that was the kind of scandal baby, and then they have another one after they got married. Again, there is his biological daughter from his first relationship. Jessie is a super successful salon owner. So what does Jordan do at this point? Jordan does social media, and I have more followers than Jordan. Yikes. So the only job I could find is that he was a manager at a solar energy company, but Jessie on the show said that she asked him to quit after she had the second baby because she was like, I need help. I'm running this huge salon. She owns a salon and hair school. So it's like classes, and she travels the country doing classes on how to use her extensions because she also has an extension line, and she does YouTube tutorials. Like, she is a businesswoman. She runs a multi-million-dollar business, is very, very successful. Her and her entire family run it together, all of that. So she was like, I need you to quit your job and help with the kids. And he was like, I love the first part of that. So he quit his job, and then he did not help with the kids. They have a full-time nanny, and he mainly just goes and golfs every single day. So he literally just spends her money, and he creates TikTok videos, and he is like a big proponent of dad talk. And he does lots of the trends with the other men and likes to hang out with them a lot. A lot of blended Mormon families here. Also, Jessie kind of cheated on Jordan. She made out with a guy on Vanderpump Villa, but I honestly don't care. Like, there's a bunch of videos about it. You can watch the Jessie stream if you want to know. Whatever. Like, okay. Like, I don't care. Like, whatever. Like, yeah, you fucking made out with a dude from Vanderpump Villa. Your husband doesn't have a job and doesn't help with the kids. So, like, I don't care. I don't care. Whatever. So, I'm so thirsty. In season 4, in the wake of her cheating on him, their marriage is a hot mess express. The other women pointed out that Jesse always has this big ass bag, and they're like, when Jesse has the big ass bag, that means she's sleeping at a hotel because the fighting is so bad. Their house is nice as fuck. And this woman who is making all the money is leaving the house because her and her husband are fighting so bad. And I'm trying to figure out why the fuck he's not leaving the house. Like, what is going on here? So, I do not like him. He gets involved with the women's drama a lot. He comments on conflicts that have nothing to do with him. He wants screen time. He wants to be the princess. He wants to be on TV, and he wants attention. He's very arrogant. He's like a knockoff Andrew Tate kind of a vibe who just got arrested. Yay. What was she not supposed to do? Not make out with the guy at Vanderpump Villa? He doesn't have a job. Laura Lizers, thanks for subscribing. Thanks to everyone for subscribing. And if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription. That'd be cool if you wanted to throw that my way. So he stirs the pot. He gossips. He adds fuel to conflict. He, like, 2 women will be fighting, and he will get involved in the fight, even if his wife's not in the fight. He's overly opinionated, and he inserts himself in conversations where most of the other husbands stay quiet. So he's kind of the opposite of Jacob, where it seems like Jacob is actively avoiding the camera. Jordan is, like, actively trying to find the camera. Ironically, they're friends. So Jordan and Jesse are really struggling, and Jesse admits to the other women that they have been screaming at each other every single day for years, which is horrible. And Jesse often leaves the house and checks into a hotel, which is really sad. This is kind of a little bit of other stuff. But Jessie becomes really open about her relationship, and she has a lot of financial, legal, and family concerns, and she is literally actively on the show being like, I don't know if I should get divorced. I don't know what I should do. And one of the reasons she says she's hesitant to leave Jordan is because when she met with her dad to look at her prenup, she realized that it was never, like, notarized and never, like, filed correctly. So she's afraid if she leaves Jordan that she's going to lose millions of dollars. But she learns later that it ends up being okay because even though it wasn't signed by a witness, they both signed it. So it ends up being okay. But it was just, like, horrible for her. Absolutely horrible. And one time Chase read the fuck out of him at a lunch. I tried to find a clip of it, but they only had, like, music and it was hard to see. But Chase and Jordan were arguing, and Chase goes, "That's why your wife sleeps at a hotel half the time," which I thought was just a read. I want so much protection in Jessie's life. Like, I know she does wrong things and keeps cheating on her husbands, but I'm sorry, I like her. And he is literally a gold digger. And the prenup is valid. It's okay. They're getting divorced now. So, she announces that they're getting divorced. She goes on, or they announce they're getting divorced, and she goes on Call Her Daddy to talk about it.
I'm getting divorced. I told him I was going to file. He ran to the courthouse and straight to TMZ to make it look like it was his decision. If he's going to play dirty, do you want to talk about the escorts? Do you want to talk about the orgies? I'm ready to tell the full story because I have nothing to hide.
Yikes.
Because he's spied on me in the past. Do you want to hear a funny story? You know Harry Jowsey. So we have the same birthday. So last May, this is when me and Jordan are separated. I responded to Harry's story and I was like, oh my gosh, birthday twins. He, like, voice memos me, and you know how he talks? He's like, you naughty kitten, whatever. He's like, how's your birthday going, naughty possum? And I was like, good, how's yours? He's like, great, I'm going on a hike. That's it. This is an Instagram. I'm in Europe. I get a call at 4 a.m. from Jordan. He's like, do you have to tell me something? And I was like, what do you mean? He went to the lengths. He hacked my Instagram while we're separated, created a fake phone number to then send himself the audios, and then have the phone number say, dude, I think you should know about this. Your wife's cheating on you. So he accused me of cheating on him with Harry Jowsey. Said it was someone else.
Harry Jowsey's always at the scene of the crime. And this is more detail about why she left.
What was the actual moment you knew you needed, okay, it's going to happen. I need this divorce?
So in the last year, I've told him actually a few different times I want to get divorced, but he always, like, calms me down, give me a few days, let's try to work on it. He's better for a few days, and then it goes back. What happened was I had been in limbo for a while, and anyone that's lived in limbo knows it's excruciating, where I'm like, I don't know if this is right or not. I literally woke up one day. And I was like, it's such a simple thought, but I was like, I can change this. I can change my life. I can be happy.
Good for her.
It's going to be hard, but I can do this. And my life doesn't have to be this way. And it was like something flipped. And I was like, I'm done. And I could not go back after that.
How did you tell him? Where were you?
That feeling came to me on a Thursday, and I told him on Friday, the next day. I wasn't going to tell him till the weekend because I was like, let's, I'll get the kids out of the house and whatever. But on Friday, he came up to my room. I was getting ready in my closet, and he was like, I just talked to the kids' therapist because we have them in therapy, and she thinks we need to start going together every week with them. And can you make that happen? And I was like, oh, I'm leaving you this weekend. But I couldn't say that. So I was like,
I'm
I
leaving
just don't know
you
if
this
our
weekend.
schedules are going to work. Like, it may work if you take them and I take them. And he was like, why? The kids are the most important thing. Like, why? And I was like, I want to get divorced. I just said it. And he was like, okay. And his emotions were like calm, then mad. And then he kind of gaslit me and was like, you're not healed enough. That's why. Like, you can't love yourself yet. So you need to figure that out first. And then you'll realize this isn't what you want. And then he was like, you're cheating on me again. And I'm like, it was all over the place. And I just had to be like, Jordan, like, I need you to know I've thought about this every single day for the last 4 years. And I'm choosing myself. And, we thought a little bit, but he finally understood. He's like still talking to me. And it kind of got to a point where he was like gaslighting me and stuff. So I finally was like, this is how most of our fights are. I'm like, I'm leaving. I need you to stop. And he literally followed me downstairs and I had to get in my car and drive off.
And then did you sleep in the house that night?
No, I have not been back since. I've been back to see the kids. I did sleep there one night actually, but other than that, I've been at a hotel.
How was sleeping there that one night?
This is where actually I think a lot of women will relate. So I was in a hotel and I had a girls' night with my friends. This was maybe 2 days after I left. And we were drinking wine and just talking about it. I was like so sad. And I could not sleep that night. And at 4 a.m., I was like, I'm Ubering home. I want to be with my kids. I want to be in my house. I just felt so like I didn't have a home. I was like so misplaced.
Aww,
and I went
baby.
home. And I went into the bed and he was there. And I ended up having sex with him. I was like, okay, but if I do, this doesn't change anything. And he was like, it won't. And I did. But literally, I'm so glad I did because after that moment, I was like, nope, never again. It was a good closing of the chapter.
That's real as fuck. Like, I love how honest she is because most people would have not admitted that, but it is real as fuck of her. And this is insane. This is insane. What this man, who again has done nothing, has no job, literally brings nothing to the table. This is the way he's treating her.
I will say there was right before we separated last year, after the Marciano stuff, he had told me he wanted me to start doing Pilates every single day. Like, he told me that. And then he said, I think I believe in traditional gender roles and I want to be more in my masculine and I want you to be more in your feminine.
Doesn't have a job though.
So like just control in areas like that as well. And I was like, do you know who you're married to?
That is like so fucking backwards. Yeah. And also like, I'm also just like, how crazy for him to also like physically expect you to do Pilates every single day, be the breadwinner, take care of the children, take care of him. Like, there's such an unrealistic expectation when he's not even raising himself to any capacity of that standard.
And to be fair, also, he doesn't work and we had a full-time nanny. So like, he wasn't even helping with the kids until nighttime.
Was there anything that he expected to get approval over in your relationship from you?
Oh, yeah, I feel like everything. Like, it felt like
I
I
can't even afford a Pilates membership.
Talking to Jordan about it. I had to get his advice, his opinion. Like, but the thing is, I never wanted to confide in him either because he's not someone that is like, yes, like, let me help you feel better and like give you advice in a logical way. It's always like putting me down while he's giving me advice and like playing devil's advocate, but telling me what I did wrong.
And how would he justify that to you or try to justify it?
He's like, I just know things. Like, I'm really like, I'm smart in these areas. Like, you should listen to me. Like, look at all the mistakes you've made. Look at all the friends you've lost. You need to listen to me. So yeah. And now that I'm saying these out loud, I'm like, this is weird.
No, it's not. It's, first of all, do not feel weird or shame or embarrassed. Like, I think so many women relate to this. It's more, I'm cringing at him because of like the self-righteousness that these men have over women. When again, it's like, you're home.
He's not even hot enough to pull off the
You're the one
masculine
that's
role.
working. You're the one that was on Mom Talk. We'll get to Dad Talk. Don't worry. Can you explain though, like, what did a conflict like actually look like between the two of you? You're in the house, you're going through this dynamic. Like, what was that like?
The last 5 years, we've fought every single day. Every single day. Like, imagine being in that with your partner who you're supposed to like trust the most. I would say the worst it got, and actually why I separated from him last year, is because this was the Pilates conversation. It got to a point where he was blackmailing me with Marciano texts, and he had them on a draft on his phone on TikTok. And anytime he was mad at me, he's like, I'm going to post them. I'm going to ruin your life. So we were fighting over this Pilates stuff, and he was like, I'm gonna post the TikToks. And so I went to go grab his phone. I was like, Jordan, no, like at this point, no one knew about what I had done. And I was like, you're gonna ruin my life, like blah, blah, blah. And my business too. Like I employ 50 people, like this could ruin everything. And he goes, so he's like, okay. And I'm freaking out. So I'm like trying to get his phone. I'm like kind of chasing him, trying to get it. He pulls out his phone, starts recording me. And he's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna be like, Taylor, should I call the cops? And I was like, whoa.
Just like Dakota.
So he's like hearing things like that, obviously. And so he's baiting me and he's trying to be like, oh, what are you doing? And that was the moment where for me, I was like, what am I doing? I am chasing around my husband, trying to get his phone so he doesn't blackmail me.
The concept of your husband
this is not
saying
healthy.
he's going to ruin your life.
The next day, I was like, this can't happen anymore.
I mean, you're like a complete prisoner in your own home where you're like, from what I understand, he decided
Dakota
to stay
taught him
with
the
you
tricks.
after that
Yes.
information.
There was not even a second where he like didn't. So yeah.
And then he continues to use this information as blackmail to further control you in the
A baby
relationship.
Dakota, they get so
knowing
evil
that
so
this
fast.
cycle is going to continue because you're going to feel like shit because you do feel guilty about what you did.
Yeah.
Also now having the information that you did know about the escorts that he
Yeah.
completely gaslit you into believing didn't exist when
Yeah.
now we know that actually was the case.
Yeah.
And he was the first person to step outside of the marriage.
Yep.
And
So he cheated. Let's get into
and
that.
screenshots that when season 1 dropped, I had an escort service reach out to me and they sent me screenshots of his phone number and messages, and he was trying to meet up with them. He got a hotel room and I have all of that. And so he's, you know, I protected him through all the Marciano stuff, and he denied it to me when I brought it to him. And he said, we're in Hollywood now. People are going to try to do this to tear us apart. It's probably AI.
It's AI.
But it wasn't. It was real.
how did you find out it was real?
Someone messaged me and she works for the escort service, and she called me and was like, I work for this. You can like look into it. She sent me so much proof. So
you can confirm by speaking to this woman that he was involved with escorts.
Yeah. And she sent the screenshots, and it's his phone number. She wouldn't have known his phone number. Like I literally have it.
And what kind of proof was she showing you?
He's a big
Just the
AI
messages
fan.
he had sent and his phone number being attached. Also, she said this happened while he was in Texas, and he was in Texas doing summer sales at the time. And this was before we filmed the show, so no one would have known that. So
do you know
Damn.
after that moment if he continued with other escorts?
I don't know, but I do know that literally like a month ago, my sister was out to dinner with her husband, and a friend of his came up to them and he's like, hey man, like, how are you doing? And then he's like, by the way, are Jesse and Jordan still married? And they were like, yeah, why? And he goes, I go to these parties and he's always there. And especially when they had their daughter, he was there a lot. That was like the time he was, you know, being seen. So I don't have proof of those, but that's what I've heard.
When you hear that, like, where does your head go?
You know what's so messed up is my sister told me this like a few weeks ago, and she was like, I'm so sorry, like expecting me to cry. And I was like, you know what? This was like my final straw. Like I needed to hear this to like,
I really
be okay
admire
with, like,
Jessie. She's
moving
very
on.
strong and very
Now
honest,
looking
even though
back,
she's messy.
I'm like, you did in a form protect him because
Yeah.
you went through this whole scandal of kissing Marciano twice.
Which,
and
by the way, I kissed Marciano like 2 weeks after I found out about the escort stuff. And so I do think that influenced my decision. Not that it was okay, but I protected Jordan when that all came out.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. So you find out before season 1 about the escorts.
Yeah.
You start filming season 1.
No, we had filmed season 1. When it dropped, we were in New York. And I found out when it was like live. Season 1 just came out. We're in New York doing press, and that's when I found out.
And he completely denies the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then you get proof and he continues to deny it.
I showed him the proof, and he was like, no, like,
It's AI.
They're going to try to do this to us.
Then the Marciano thing happens.
2
and
weeks
you,
later.
2 weeks
2
later.
weeks later.
Why did you protect him?
Because he denied it, and at the time I did believe him, where I was like, you know, like, I think I was just putting my head in the sand, and I was like, I don't want to know anything, like, it's fine, like, I just really just tried to believe him. And then I did actually kiss someone, so then I felt so guilty. And when this came out, like, I just was like, I have to own it because I did something wrong. I don't want anyone to think I'm trying to like deflect.
So when do you think you stopped believing him?
I think I always did believe it deep down, but then after the way he reacted during the Marcy.
So, absolutely yikes. Jordan tried to get a temporary restraining order when he filed for divorce, and the judge rejected it, saying there was not an emergency, because what the fuck? And then he was making out with this lady in public after he filed for divorce. Again, if you missed at the beginning, Jordan and Jesse talked. They said they were going to file, and then he went ahead, filed, and then told TMZ. And she found out she was getting divorced from TMZ. Mind you, no one cared enough during season 1 to specifically set him up. Here is a recent post of his.
Who better to give you marriage advice than the guy getting divorced, right? I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess.
This is his cameo.
So, they've asked me to be as unhinged as possible, so I'm going to do my best. I wanted to give you some very good marriage advice. My marriage advice for you is, well, first of all, I'll give you the real stuff, and then I'll talk about some other things. But my advice is to definitely remember this time. I would highly suggest journaling how beautiful these moments are and how you feel and what you want your marriage to look like in 5, 10, 20 years. Because right now...
Did he get reverse Botox so his forehead wrinkles do not move?
Down so that you and your spouse can look back at those and really decide, you know, what's most important right now when life doesn't hit you in the face. So the next thing is blowjobs. Blowjobs definitely help in marriage. So definitely highly suggest that.
So he's awful. Good. I don't think he's physically abused anyone. That's cool. Bad. Veneers. No job. Gold digger. Involved in women's drama. Cheated. Emotionally abusive. Absent father. Failed as a husband. Probably not even good at golf. So he needs to get off Cameo and get a job. We are going through our last 2 Mormon men of the evening, so you will be out of here shortly. Jace. Jace belongs to Michaela. Michaela and Jace, let's just get into it. I hate him a lot. I hate him maybe the most out of anyone. I don't know. I think he is far too ignored. I think my hate of him is so strong because he is not hated enough. Like, Dakota gets a lot of hate. Zach gets a lot of hate. Jordan gets a lot of hate. And I hate them, obviously. I don't think Jace gets enough hate. I think he's sneakily evil. So the couple first connected when Michaela ran away from home at age 15 because, we will get into this in a little bit, she was a victim of sexual abuse. So this 21-year-old man, okay, starts dating a 15-year-old who has run away from home. Okay? Yeah. And she got pregnant after less than a month of knowing him. Okay. Great. Haha. You weren't dating, you were taking advantage of a child. No, literally. I decided to keep the baby, told him, and he was 110% supportive, and we went from there. And then they got married less than a year later. Yay. And went on to have 3 more children. Right. Right. For sure. For sure. Dad talk versus Juliet law. That might be chat of the night. Might be not. That is our top contender for chat of the night. Hold on. Let me do it without my cursor over it so I can get a good screenshot for the... That means her parents had to consent to that. Maybe, but maybe not. I wouldn't be surprised if her parents consented to it, but I know in the state of Georgia, I don't think it's changed, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, that if you are a minor, you have to get parental consent to get married. But if you are a pregnant minor, then you don't need parental consent. So it's literally like a predator law. Like, I don't... Yikes. And in some states, I wouldn't be surprised if Utah allows that. Let me look it up, actually. Can you get married as a minor in Utah? Okay, it says that you have to be at least 16 to get married in Utah. And there's a 72-hour waiting period, and it requires a judge approval, and the spouse cannot be more than 4 years older than the minor. So they were 17 and 21 when they got married, I believe. So I think he was 20 when they met. Still not better. Let me look it up what it is in Georgia and make sure I didn't just tell you all the wrong thing. Maybe they changed that law. In Georgia, oh no, I think it's different now from when I was a child. Good for them. In Georgia, it's you cannot get married under 17. I don't know the situation, but I've heard in Utah the Romeo and Juliet laws play a role in childhood marriages. So yeah, regardless, she was a vulnerable child and he was a young man, and he impregnated her and then married her and then impregnated her 3 more times. And their main plot on the show about their marriage is that he is angry because she doesn't want to fuck him more often. But would you? Would you? So the couple shared that they were separating due to intimacy issues that stem from Michaela being sexually abused throughout her childhood. And they appear together on social media and at public events, but they still say they're separated. Last season, we dove into the beginning stages of it, and that was me revisiting all of this trauma for the first time. It's still new to me and it's new to him, and we're just navigating it the best way that we can. So I don't understand how you impregnated a 16-year-old and then you're going to be like, my wife was abused as a child. Ugh. Criminal to be upset that the child you married doesn't want to be intimate because maybe you're one of the abusers. And I don't know if Michaela feels that way, but I certainly do. Like, what are you actually talking about right now? I firmly believe he should be in jail, and everyone's being really nice to him, and I don't like it.
But Jace, you guys were very vulnerable about your struggles this season. Michaela, how does it feel hearing Jace say not having intimacy is an issue for him?
Sorry, I'm just gonna take a second. Sorry. It's still really fresh, everything that I'm working through. I know it's a really big need of his, and I think he's been very patient with me.
Not really.
Michaela's been amazing. I think that she's handling it better than I could have in her situation.
Have things improved at all?
This person's listening to music while they watch this show, and that's insane.
I feel like I haven't had my body or felt in my body for a long time because of my health issues.
Also, she had a baby.
And I just had a baby.
She carried that baby to them and pushed that baby out.
And then after having the baby, it's like my health stuff all came back 180 overnight. And then for him, it's still hard because we're still having the intimacy issues. And I'm like, I don't know how to overcome it. I think that's what's hard.
Yeah.
Stassi being like, yeah. So again, she's like, I don't feel in my body. I don't feel safe in my body. You've been pregnant every other year, and you're going through all these health issues, and you were abused as a child, and the guy that impregnated you when you were a child is like standing right there and being like, you don't want to fuck? You don't want to fuck? Like, I cannot imagine an environment where I would be less turned on. So, he did join Dad Talk, which I hate, and apparently he was fired from his job. He was a project manager for like a small chain food company, and he got fired because of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And then they joked that he was working at Jesse's hair salon, but I don't know if that was real or not. The fact that he always talks in a monotone voice with no emotion makes me uneasy. Him complaining they're not intimate while she's pregnant just irritates the hell out of me. Mr. Redacted hates this fucking guy. The scene where they're like, he's all mad that they're not having sex and she's literally huge pregnant. Mr. Redacted was like, am I missing something? How'd she get pregnant? He keeps saying they're not having sex, but she's pregnant. And it was just so fucking funny to me. And then in season 4, they did announce that they are separating. Michaela said it was been hard to focus on the sessions she experiences with ongoing skin flare-ups because she has a ton of health issues, and she told I don't like how they use last names. Jace told his friends that he's not okay with how little progress they made, but he was trying to be patient. And she said, I think it's hard anytime you bring up the stuff with sex and intimacy. I feel like it's hard on me because, again, my nervous system is already in fight or flight. I'm already maxed out. My bucket is full. I know, but for me, it seems like the solution would be to commit to trauma therapy until you're at a point where it doesn't make your nervous system freak out. Unfortunately, I think that's something that's just going to take a lot of time. So This is awful. We can skip the clip because they had music over it anyway. I'm sorry, but Jace being upset about lack of sex with Michaela while she's pregnant, trying to work through trauma as a young adult with a newly developed frontal lobe. He got her pregnant when she was only 16 and he was 21. The audacity of a man.
With the topic of vulnerability and trauma, there's something I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
I haven't told you about who sexually abused me when I was younger, and I do think it'll help you a lot, though, to be able to
autoimmune will tell the truth of all time.
Although I've told Jace about the abuse when I was 15 years old, there were other incidences when I was 6. I know that it would heal my inner child and my relationship to talk about it, but I still feel protective for some reason over the person that did it to me. I think I'm just wanting to protect myself and that person still.
I want to give her a hug too. I feel really bad for her.
I don't know. I know you've been very cautious about asking questions.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want you to feel pressured into telling anything.
She
I
was
just want to
so
be here for
young.
you if you feel like you need to.
Like,
yeah.
She's only 25 and she's been married for almost 10 years and is the mother of 4. That's insane.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so nervous about it. Yeah.
And then, like, your comfort person is also wrapped up in the trauma.
It's like I want to be mad at this person for doing this to me. But when it's someone it's really confusing.
Look at his stupid face.
It's just hard to put myself back there and realize that I was only 6 years old and I was going through all of this and didn't know what was going on. And then I just didn't want to tell anyone.
And I also think, I've heard that this is really common, is that when someone has gone through abuse, when they have children and their child hits the age that they were abused at, it's super re-triggering for them because they're like, oh my God, you're so little and innocent. How could someone do that to me when I was like you? And this is around the time that her oldest would be around, because she's 24, 25 here. She had her baby when she was 17. So imagine like that, her kids becoming the ages that she was when she was abused is like putting into it. It's like he's panicking, trying to react like it's his first time on Earth.
Because I didn't want to ruin any family relationships. It's like I know that it was so wrong and it was horrible that this was being done to me, but also I feel so guilty. I feel guilty for bringing it up or talking about it at all because I don't want to ruin their lives. You know? Although it's really scary to get all this off my chest, I feel a lot of relief at the same time. And by no means do I think that it's going to be a one and done fixed deal. But I feel like Jace came into my life at a time that I really needed it. He has so much patience and understanding.
Again, she was being abused as a child and then left that environment and was with him immediately after. So I think in her mind, he like rescued her.
Where I still feel guilty for holding this wound against him. He's been the one person that wanted to see me succeed and heal from all my trauma. I love Jace and I love our family unit so much and I don't want to lose that.
I'm sorry that you're going through this. I'm sorry that all those things happened to you. You're so strong.
Thank you.
I definitely feel closer to you.
Literally calling it patience when he's pressuring her for sex. She's so deep in it. She's calling it patience because he's not physically harming her. Like, these women in Mormonism were taught to believe that your husband can exert physical control over you. And because he is not doing that, she views him as a saint. Because she knows, and she is not wrong, that many other Mormon women, or many other Mormon husbands, would not be refraining from forcing their wife. And she knows that. She knows that. So I'm not going to say, oh, it's in her head, she's great. She knows that. She knows other women dealing with the exact same thing to a T, because her experience is not uncommon in the Mormon community. Her experience of being abused as a child and then ending up pregnant very young by an older man is so normal. And most of those women go on to continue to be abused day after day after day. So that's why she keeps calling him patient and being positive. Him pretending to be patient, but obviously there's a deadline. Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
She's literally huge pregnant. Look at her.
Are you serious?
I am being serious.
Why?
Where are we going? Do we know what stage we're going?
So you just want me to not talk to you all night?
Well, that's what you've been doing anyways. Oh, God. Wait, what did he say? He was annoying me.
I want to be as supportive as I need to be, but we've been at this for years with her not working on things. As sad as that is to say, maybe we do need to separate for a time.
Feels like we're strangers.
I'm honestly at the breaking point.
So where do we go?
And he has the shower on and is yelling at her with the shower on, which tells me he yells at her a lot and knows how to cover it because they have kids.
Michaela's been gone for like 45 minutes. I know what she's doing. I know, is she okay?
And then later on in the show, he's like bitching about her not having sex with him. They're in the hot tub and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm just not into this. And again, pregnant, going through trauma, skin issues, health issues, been at a music festival all day, telling her husband, sorry, I'm not into fucking you tonight. And he acts like she killed somebody. And everyone was always, oh, he's so patient. He's so patient. He wasn't patient enough to wait till she was 18 to fuck her. He wasn't patient enough for that. He wasn't patient when he was 17 or when he was 21 and married a 17-year-old. Was he patient? I don't think that was patient. I don't think it was patient at all. Because if you truly believe in this weird love story of, I guess he was 19 and she was 15, he would have waited 3 years and he would have gotten her out of the abusive situation and sent her with some family friends or whatever. That would still be weird and grooming, but you get what I'm saying. You get the point I'm trying to get across here. And he makes Brett look like a stand-up guy. And isn't that telling? Isn't that telling? If you make Brett look like a stand-up guy, what does that say about you? I don't like how the way they phrase how they met. It makes it seem like it's on her for running away from an abusive situation rather than she had the misfortune of running into a predator. No, literally. Literally. Brett is the old man. Brett is the old man that followed Demi the day she turned 18. At least Brett had the sense to wait till she was 18. Is Brett still gross? Yes. But at least Brett waited till she was 18 to hit that follow button. Jace just impregnated a child. Brett said, let me wait till I'm divorced and you're 18. The bar is on the floor. So, are they together? Unclear. They separated. She also has been moving around a lot, trying to figure out if the climate or the environment is impacting her health issues. It's a lot of moving around, but we're still together and working on it. It's a work in progress. We're very open with our kids. It's something that's going to take time, blah, blah, blah. She said, I think we balance each other out perfectly. He's so patient with these issues, even though he's never going to fully understand them. He's given me so much grace and so much patience with it. Meaning, he has not assaulted her. He has not physically harmed her, is what she means by that, in my opinion. Brett had a calendar. Jace was a criminal. Also, if I remember correctly, they met at a church and he was her youth leader. I have seen that, but I couldn't verify that anywhere. So, I don't know. I think they did know each other through the church, but I don't know if he was a leader of any kind. So, he had a job for a time. Like, I guess he did have a job briefly. She does not have a specific diagnosis. I might do a stream about her and maybe we'll get more into it. So good, at one point he had a job. Bad, impregnated a teenager. Proceeded to keep impregnating her year after year. Got fired, bitched at her that she doesn't want to have sex, is generally annoying, and I think yells at her behind closed doors. Is that on that with Jace. So, we are almost done for the evening. We are finishing with Zach. Zach belongs to Jen. He recently got veneers and somehow looks exactly the same. Let's get into Zach. Zach was originally the most hated, but now that I've seen how bad everyone else is, I still hate him, but I hate the other men more. Oh, thank you for bringing that up about Michaela and Jace. I tried to find the clip of them in couples therapy, but I couldn't find it. The couples therapist asked a very normal question for couples therapy. The couples therapist said, to each of you, what would your ideal timing of sex be? Like, how often would you have sex? How frequent? That's what I'm looking for. To each of you, how frequently do you want sex? And Michaela said, never. Michaela said, I'll have sex with you, but I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm doing it for you. I will never enjoy it. I've been through too much. I'm not going to enjoy it. I never want to. And then this motherfucker proceeds to go 3 times a day, which is insane. That is insane. It's especially insane if you have 4 children. Like, she's asexual. I don't know. I think she's been through a lot, and I think, like, being abused just, like, fucks you up. So I hate him literally so bad. Hey, Walmart parking lot. It's my girlfriend Abby's birthday today, and she loves your stream. Tell me all about it. Would you wish her a happy birthday? Happy birthday, Diva. Happy birthday. Also sick that he wants to have sex with her when she's not into it. Well, that's why everyone's saying he's a saint. Everyone's calling him a saint because he's like, well, I don't want to if you don't like it. I don't want to if you don't like it. And they're like, oh, most Mormon men would just fuck you while you cried. What a nice guy. Ugh, the worst. I think he gets away with too much. So moving on to Zach. I do not like Zach. Super Mormon. Super Mormon. His parents are super Mormon, not related to Ben Affleck. He wanted to be a physician, and so in the beginning of the show, he was in med school, but then he dropped out, and Jen is the primary breadwinner for much of their marriage through social media and mom talk. He was hated on season 1.
A girls trip. No boyfriend.
Context, the women are on a girls trip to Vegas, and they go to the Chippendales. If you don't know what Chippendales is, I would say it's male strippers, and it is male strippers, but it's more of a show. So they have like multiple dancers, and there's different songs and plots, and it's in more of like a stadium rather than being like a strip club.
No husband.
Or a theater,
When it comes
not
to
a stadium, a
Jen
theater.
and Zach and their relationship, it is a little alarming to me the way that she talks about how Zach wants things to be a little bit more traditional, especially when it comes to the church. They think that their women owe them doing things a specific way to prove that they are only that man's wife. And it's so strange to me because it's like, you can have fun with your girls and go out and wear what you want to wear and be completely loyal to your husband.
Okay, I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and then it'll count down.
Girls trip. Definition, no boyfriends, no bullshit, food.
So good.
Why are we getting upset? It's a TikTok. I don't want to be in a TikTok.
Exactly, it's a TikTok. To be honest, I don't even know what to do with myself. Do I just walk out? Do I just go along with everything? To be honest, I really don't know what to do. Maybe I should text Zach just to let him know what's going on.
Nice. Don't worry, something's out.
Babe, I'm literally, it's a joke. Like, Macy went with her mom to this. I didn't even know till I got here. Can you just stop for a second and just, like, think of me as a person and my character?
Aww.
Can you just think about me, please? I'm a human being. I did nothing wrong in this situation.
Just 2 pregnant girls with toxic baby fathers.
Okay, what's going on? I thought he was cool with you being here.
No.
I mean, I'm in trouble.
He doesn't want to be married to me if I do stuff like that. What?
This really was sad. I think he's evil behind closed doors.
Oh my gosh, he really does want a divorce. Like, basically, I'm thinking, what did I do?
But where did it go wrong? Because you told him you were here, and you said it was cool.
He just started questioning me and my character. He just started saying, like, why would you even put yourself in this situation? It's like, I didn't even put myself in this situation.
It was just a prank.
Yes.
Dakota was pissed too.
Exactly. I definitely think this isn't just about Chippendales. I think this is a lot more than that. Like, I haven't done anything wrong.
No. We've not even gone in there. Like,
She literally didn't even go inside. They were outside eating at like the venue.
Oh my god. From Zach to his wife, Jen. Seriously, I don't want to hear one more thing about your heart. Start taking accountability for your actions and for the situations you put yourself in. You're a grown woman. Doesn't matter your intentions. You were there, and that's the image you portray of yourself, your family, church, etc. Everyone you represent with this platform. The fact that you would have to ask me is, we cannot say that word, but I will let you know it's the one that starts with an R. So, do with that what you will. Would you ever find Katie asking Kyle that? No, because she respects her own values, and her husband would never put herself in that situation. The fact that we're even having this conversation is sad, especially after everything with the temple. And then the rest of the message I can't read because it's kind of cut off.
So he hates her. He wants to control her. He's super, super intense. And she always forgives him. Every time she forgives him. I feel really bad for her.
Argued and a lot happened, but at the end of it, like, yes, he has like these narcissistic traits about him, and like they come out in like situations like this, like every few months. But like, who's to say in another marriage that won't be the same thing? So we don't want you to feel trapped.
And remember that in Mormon faith, you cannot get into heaven unless you're married. So that's why she was like, well, in another marriage, and again, all these men exist and move in this way because their position of power is upheld by the many, many Mormon men who physically abuse their wives. Those men who physically abuse their wives are not just abusing their own wives, but they are enabling other men to abuse their wives with just the threat of physicality and say, oh, well, all these men are so much worse. I can't leave him. All the men are worse.
Because you're not just because you have kids with him. Like, that's such a taboo thing that's out the window. You should be safe, happy, loved, supported, and all the things. You deserve that.
All of us are disgusted with Zach. I think he's disgusting. And I have no problem saying that, and I know you all agree, so please back me up.
I like Jesse.
I love you so much.
And we don't want to see this. Like,
everyone did handle this poorly.
Jen, you've done jack shit to the man. Nothing but support him, nothing but love him, nothing but be there for him, and that's how you got treated. That's narcissistic, it's crazy. This is a serious thing.
And he expects Jen to be super modest, super perfect, traditional gender roles, everything. But he doesn't work. He has never worked at any time on the show. He gambles. He does all of these anti-Mormon things, but expects her to be the perfect little Mormon. And she said on their trip to Vegas, because Dakota and Zach came on the trip because Jen and Taylor were both pregnant. So like, you're pregnant, we want to be nearby. I don't think that is crazy. They're controlling and manipulative, but I think a lot of normal men would have done the same thing. Been like, oh, my wife is pregnant on a girl's trip. Let me at least get a hotel room nearby just in case something happens. I don't think that's that weird. I do think everything else they've done is weird. And he asks Jen, can you bankroll me so I can gamble in Vegas? And she says, I'm giving you $2,500 and I'm going to be really pissed if you lose it. And he said, if I lose it then, and she says, you can never gamble again. And he responds, then I won't gamble the rest of the year. So, yikes. After season 1, he moved her away from her friends and family to go to medical school. So he takes her away from everyone and isolates her completely. Then he dropped out, so they moved back and she became the breadwinner. And he blames her friends a lot. He's like, they're a bad influence on you. You shouldn't be around them. They're preying on our downfall, etc. And then after season 1, he realized everyone hated him. And so he did like a big switch up. I think he's a narcissist. And I think now he just does his emotional abuse behind closed doors instead of out in the open. So people noticed he was calmer. He was nicer. He was apologizing. He spoke more positively about her. But I think it was just him being aware of how he was on camera and because all the other women were coming after him. That man thought he could be a doctor. No, for real. And he really appears to struggle with her fame and the demands of her career.
A lot of the relationships. I'm all for women empowerment. I just think it's sad that all these women have families and that's not the number one thing that they're pushing to fight for. And I think Mom Talk could learn a lot from Dad Talk, honestly. There's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of harm.
So he's like, I'm all for women empowerment. I just don't like when they're leaving the home. And then he had to become a stay-at-home dad because A, he has no talent or career or way to make money, and B, when Jen went on Dancing with the Stars.
Having a family and also trying to pursue
I'm sorry, it's quiet.
is really tough because it's almost like someone has to
Get the short end.
someone has to get short and kind of sacrifice their life or their goals or their career, at least for a period of time, for the other person to thrive and do what they want to do. So it's so hard to balance, like, how do we find all of that and how do we both like with our dreams but also give our kids what they deserve, and how do we also keep our marriage healthy and happy, but it's so hard to do all of it. Like, it's not possible.
Ugh. So he's like, wow, someone has to put their career on the back burner, and now it's me.
And it makes me worried for our marriage because I don't think this life in Hollywood's really set up, like, it's not really super conducive with, like, a healthy marriage. For example, 2 days ago, Jan's a great guy. I have no issues with Jan, super respectful, but I'm sitting there, walking through Disneyland, watching my wife dance in front of Cinderella Castle with another man.
Shut up.
Probably wasn't my plan A,
Yeah.
or plan B or C.
Oh my god.
I think everyone knows that
What career?
Hollywood is probably not the healthiest place for marriages.
He is so annoying, and he was the one that was like bitching to Connor, being like, I hate being home with the kids, and Connor was like, I think it was hard for the girls too. I've been doing magic to support my mental health. You should try something like that. And then Zach proceeded to just ignore him. And he just got Jen pregnant a 4th time. Incredible. The 3rd time he got her pregnant was shortly after the Vegas thing, where it seemed like she wanted to leave him. He got her pregnant again then. So many viewers noticed that Jen became pregnant during periods where her marriage to Zach appeared to be under significant strain. Because of that timing, fans have speculated that the pregnancies made it more difficult for her to leave the relationship. The theory goes, Jen seems unhappy, she's questioning the relationship, then she gets pregnant, so she becomes focused on the baby and the family, and then it gets even harder to leave. More Mormon men in Close-Up Magic 2026. Allegedly, he didn't even make it to the White Coast ceremony, aka he dropped out before school started. Correct. Getting her pregnant right after Dancing with the Stars is insane behavior. No, for real. So, good. He watches their kids now. So, I guess, whatever. Bad. No job. Dropped out. Gambles. Punchable face. Manipulative. Keeps getting her pregnant. Manipulative. Them trying to blame Hollywood for these marriages. So, basically stepping out of the Utah bubble. He firmly, I think, believes that if Jen would just like shut up and put up, they could be happy, but he can't make money. She started doing social media to support him through med school. That was her original intention of doing social media, was to support him in med school. So she was postpartum during and pregnant after? Yes. She had a baby, went on Dancing with the Stars less than 2 months later, and then as soon as she was off Dancing with the Stars, he got her pregnant again. They have a nanny, though, but he may be a stay-at-home dad still. He is a stay-at-home dad, and I think they do have childcare. Keeping her hormones all over the place. No, for real. He is never giving her a moment of peace. And I hate these men so much, so I found the perfect thing to end on before we get into our little game. And I have a special treat for you on the game today. But before we get to that, I want to show you this. Absolutely incredible. Incredible things happening here. So here is our upcoming schedule. Next week, it is Submit Your Lore. I will be in LA, so I will not be in my usual setup, but you can submit your lore. It's been on a QR code on here. I just put the link in the chat. No right or wrong, just any story. It can be about you. It can be an interest of yours. It can be a history things. Just any good story that you want me to share, feel free to submit it. And then we will be talking about the Hoover Dam, and then Jennifer Tilly, Lindsay Lohan, and then Raven Simone. So that is our upcoming schedule. Let me get the game up and going for you. We're going to do the carnival because all of these men are clowns. They are all just simply clowns. So for anyone who has not been here before, at the end of every stream, we do a little trivia game. For those of you on TikTok, you have to come to Twitch to see this kind of thing. So sorry. The directions are on the screen. The link is in the chat. You can do this on your phone. You can do it on a computer. You can do it wherever. The questions come up on my screen, so if you just want to watch and like do it in your head, that's fine as well. But I'll give you a couple moments to join. Raven Simone and the white woman holding her hostage. I don't know what's happening with that, so feel free to email me. I don't know that much about her. I just really liked her on That So Raven. That was one of my favorite shows as a kid. Like 2 weeks ago, I accidentally submitted stream suggestions in the lore submission. Oh, it's okay that you cluttered it. It's fine. I don't consider it clutter. Do not worry. Do not worry. Do you think you will do a Michaela or Macy stream one day? Yes. I want to listen to Macy's book. If it's like a reality star, I like to do an audio book. So next time I have a long drive or something, I'll listen to Macy's book and I'll put her and Michaela in the schedule. I do want to do streams on all of them at the end of the day. I'll give you all a few minutes to join. Oh my God, there's a lot of you on here. Have you done the Cheetah Girls lore drama? No. So if you have any good info for any of the topics that are on my schedule, you are always free to email me, miss@missredacted.com, MISS. Ooh, Lady Gaga stream is a very good idea. I like that a lot. I love Lady Gaga. All right, I'll give people a couple more seconds to join the little game. For those of you on TikTok, I'm going to say goodnight to you soon. There's more of you on TikTok than there are on Twitch. Or now there's not, but there was a couple minutes ago. I was just sent on an errand at the end of the Jordan segment. Wish me luck on the game. The game is really chaotic. Sorry in advance for how chaotic the game is. Okay, are there any more people joining? We've been at 37 for a little minute now. Oh no, 38. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight to my TikTok people. I will post this on YouTube, so if you want to watch that, it'll be up in the next couple days. It'll have a lot of copyright things happening. I'll put the link again in the chat for the game. There you go. You can just click the link and it'll just open it in a new page. It does ask for your name. It comes up on the screen, so don't put your name if you don't want it to be seen. You can put something funny instead. Just don't be offensive or annoying. All right, you are welcome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit start on the game. If you still want to join, you can join late. You can join late if you want to join. Do you already do hater time? Hater time and lore is two different things because lore doesn't have to be negative. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Hater time is something you hate and lore is any story. Doesn't have to be about you. I did hater time a little while back, but then like my phone overheated. It was like a whole thing. I think I just can't use the mics with it. I think that's like too much for my phone, and then it was dying. I learned some lessons. I'll say that. All right, I'm starting the game. What show were these men from? And I told you there's going to be a little surprise after the game. I hope you're excited. I worked really hard on it. I hope it works, because I tried a bunch of times and it didn't work. So if it doesn't work, I'm going to be upset. Someone's not answering. I might kick them out. Oh no, I think the game kicks them out. Nice. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I think if they X out, it kicks them out. Who is the dad that stepped up and we generally like? Man, why are all of you getting this wrong? Did I mark it wrong? Did I mess up? Jacob. Oh, a lot of you put Connor. I meant stepped up like he was a stepdad who stepped up. And Connor lied to his wife for years. I'm not past that. Who dropped out of med school? The J names are hard. They all look the same. I know, and it wasn't letting me put pictures on a lot of them. Zach. It was Zach who dropped out of med school. Who has a real job currently? Who has a job right now? An active real job that pays them money. That's not on the internet. Jacob. That's it. Nobody else. Nobody else is currently employed. They've all blended together. No, it really was hard. What is the biggest flaw among many of them? My head is so itchy. I just bought shampoo for it. And everyone talks about my hair. Everything good about my hair is wrong with my scalp. My scalp is a mess. It does let you pick more than one option. All of them are right. Which one is the oldest? I know too much about these men. Me too. I did most of this from memory. Grandpa Brett. Grandpa Brett. Is he actually a grandfather? That would be so funny. I think he might be. Let me look it up while you play. No, he's not a grandpa. That's just a joke that they make because he's old. What is Dakota's current job? Brett, that's Peepaw. Pawpaw. Pawpaw, Peepaw. Brittle Bones, Brett. Grandpa Brett. Real estate, terrorizing Taylor, and terrorizing us on TikTok. What crime did Jordan commit at his wedding? My foot's in the way of the light. There's just so many terrible men. I know, they were all so bad. I hope you guys liked the order I put them in because I wanted to put the really heavy stuff in the middle, but it's all kind of heavy because they're all so bad. Dogs out! Dogs out at the wedding. Why is Jace awful? Amazing lesson plan. Thank you. I appreciate that. I worked really hard on this. Pretty much everything except he is a dealer. I would be able to forgive that. All right, last question. As a child of a teacher, I could tell and I appreciate it. I plagiarize all of it, but I do put it together very thoughtfully. Which of these men is misredacted the most concerned about? And by concerned, I mean not about him, but about what he is going to do. Dakota. I have seen Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Big fan. Hate that they're all Republican, but great show. Alrighty, we have an empty school parking lot, C, an NB school parking lot, Swiggity Swag, J, I Hate Dad Talk, Marissa, a Zeller's parking lot, Repressed Homosexuality, Mel, Tori, J, Saturn Cat Taylor, They Talk, CJ, Kmart parking lot, Not Your Goddamn Baby, Blobfish, and Will Mom Talk Survive. I will scroll through the rest. Very nice, very nice. Nice, 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 nice. A very impressive turnout tonight. This is your surprise. I made a surprise for you. You get to rank them from least awful to most awful. I know. I know. I know. It's so fun. No, I don't want you on there twice. There you go. Can we do a Dance Mom style pyramids? You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can add words. You can add shapes. You can literally do anything that you want on here. I can see them all. Tuned in for 20 minutes and got all of them. Unfortunate for me. I can barely tell them apart. Bold of you to assume I can pair their names with their faces. I was rushing putting this together. I finished this at 6 o'clock. I would have designed it better with their names if I had more time, but I didn't. I'll let you play around on here for a second before I get to the memes. Can't look exact this long. I'll leave it to y'all. I wish I could have this and the memes up there together. Okay, I'll look through a couple people that have submitted. Most awful. Least awful. Okay. Most awful. Oh, you're putting Jace at least awful. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Not Dakota submitted. Least awful Jacob. I appreciate that. I think I agree with this one. I might switch Brett and Jordan because Brett doesn't seem manipulative. He just seems like an asshole, and Jordan's really manipulative. This one's good. I like that Jordan is up there. I put these two around the same. Yeah, I really agree with this one. Good job, Repressed Homosexuality. Not Your Goddamn Baby. You put Dakota as least awful? I have to assume that was a mistake. Dakota on there a million times. I did so bad I don't have the brain capacity. I do love this being interactive. I'm glad you guys like this being interactive. I forgot to put Brett because I don't care about it. This is so fun. I flipped mine. This is literally so fun. I don't know who this is. This is so good. I'm glad that you guys like this. Politics and seems like a good dad. Okay. I'm a contributor to the literacy crisis. I need name tags. Jordan the key morale. Oh my god. Okay. Wait. Who is this? That's Jace. They all look the same. So it's ones I remember versus don't remember. Oh my god, this is so funny. A+ surprise. All right. I am going to move on. If we have any memes, anything to add, we need more of this. I'm glad. Perhaps all of them. Is that what that says? Okay, I'm going to move on to the memes. I'll give you a few moments to post any memes that you have. They're all identical. This was an important conversation to have. I think that these conversations, like I said, are important. I think that looking at these situations from an intersectional lens, from a lens of patriarchy, from a lens of female empowerment is so important. And I always say, you can rejoin the Nearpod. The code is still up here. You can rejoin if you have something you want to put. You can put the memes on here. You just have to submit them from your camera roll. I think it's going to give you different prompts depending on what kind of device that you have. I think that's important to have these conversations. I think that the women on our screen represent so many of the women off of our screen, and I think that having honest conversations about abuse and manipulation and patriarchy does push us forward. I'm really, really grateful for you guys and for this community. It is so rare to find this, let alone on the internet, of kind, intelligent people who can talk about these things in a meaningful and nuanced way and hold vulnerable space for these women and not punch down on them, but we still have a lot of fun here. It's impossible to find that in real life, and we managed to create it on the internet, and I'm really eternally grateful for this space and this platform to talk about these things because, like I said, I think it's incredibly important. Let's get into these memes. Me at every man but Jacob. Sorry, Connor. What the fuck? No, literally. Thank you. And this is the DV abuse hotline. If anyone needs, you can text or call. And I've never personally used this hotline, so I don't know how helpful they are or not, but I know they are very recommended and put on things. I'll leave this up here for a couple seconds if you want to write it down, take a screenshot, what have you. If you are in a situation where someone is going through your phone, you can always label it as something else if that is helpful to you. Yeah, what is going on right now? Need the men to wear this as the sweater of the badge of shame, not the Nirvana rainbow sweater. Good meme. My attraction to men leaving my body. Oh, this one's gonna be good. Oh my God, not Jordan AIing himself. Stop. So that's what Food Network posted of him. This is unreal. He AI'd himself to look better. Connor, shame. Didn't make a meme tonight, so I'll reshare this. She may be difficult, but boy, can she dance. I love this meme. Throwing tomatoes. My wife doesn't want to be intimate anymore. Whitney, I only like magicians. Literally posted by Zach. My ancestors looking down, knowing I'm going to end my pure white bloodline. All right. Mom Talk Lady is getting divorced. You're doing amazing, sweetie. And Fruity Pebbles. Absolutely electric evening. Thank you to everyone who was here for the first time. Thank you for my normal people who are usually here for always welcoming newbies with open arms and for carrying our community through your chats and through your memes. If you are new here, self-plug, I do recommend my YouTube. I have been doing this stream for over 4 years now, which is so beautiful and exciting. The longest job I've ever had. I cover a lot of the women from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, so you can look back at some other ones. There's also a lot of history stuff on there from when I was a slightly more serious person than I am now. Good night. I love you all so much, and I will see you next Tuesday. Feel free to submit a story, whether it's your story or just a story that you like, and I will try and get this thing up on YouTube within a couple days. And thank you for saying you're proud of my work in DC. It means a lot. I don't like skipping the stream. I don't like canceling tour dates, but that work just felt really meaningful to do. I did get to interview a lot of really cool people, so be on the lookout for those. Mwah! See you next week.